Welcome to our next session of Out of the Abyss. We swear this is the first time we've done this today. When last we left our party, they were being taken for a tour of Neverlake Grove by Sovereign Basidia, one of the two sovereigns of Neverlake Grove. On this tour, in addition to showing you the sights of the grove and introducing you to some of the circle leaders, Basidia shared with you their suspicions of something strange going on with Sovereign Philo and some of the other Myconids in Neverlake Grove. There was a recently established Circle of Masters, as well as a new denizen living up past the Eastern Terrace that Philo referred to as the Great Cedar. Sovereign Basidia asked you for your help and also warned you not to stay in the grove for too long, as the last group of softers, as they refer to you, skin and bone people, went up the Eastern Terrace and were not seen again. Allegedly. So, you decided to send a flying and invisible Yormik on a discreet recon mission up over the Eastern Terrace.
Who better?
Who better than Yormik? But what Yormik saw was just beyond disturbing. Humanoids buried in the ground up to their heads, with growths and mushrooms protruding from their faces, and pustulent boils growing and consuming their forms. Humanoids in enormous filled pus sacs being changed or mutated in some way. And hordes of dancing, enthralled spore servants around the base of an enormous, colossally large mushroom, the size of a skyscraper. I just can't talk. I just lost all of my consonants. I lost it. My mouth's constipated, I guess.
Consonants.
Because I'd be spitting the shit.
He's inconstant.
So,
how do you
upon approaching the mushroom, Yormik heard some soft singing or chanting of some sort coming from the inside. And then he went to report back to the rest of the crew. Nero was a little skeptical, you might say, of his report back to the team. But with a little bit of persuading, the group decided to take his findings to Sovereign Basidia, who was almost eager to leave after receiving confirmation of their suspicions of the infected fellow Myconids in the grove. So Basidia, along with Rasharu and Lumabub and the circles that were loyal to Basidia, who had traveled with them as nomads before Basidia came to the grove, they decided that they would leave the grove along with you and head west. In doing so, Stool decided that it was time that he go with back with his own people, and you all said a relatively somber farewell to little Stool with you guys since the prison at Velkenvelv. Stool requested that the egg of unknown origin that you found on the Dark Lake get to continue traveling with him, but Bryn would not be persuaded even by games of chance.
Hey man, we left it up to luck. I would never try to cheat Stool out of it.
Clearly.
No.
Clearly not.
It would have been impossible
Yep.
for you to cheat someone.
Yep. Yeah, it turns out you need to be attuned to charlatans today, so hey, whatever.
That said, Kevin got owned.
So,
It's our dragon.
you all said your goodbyes to school, and the caravan set out towards the west, basically, until they left your sight. It was at that moment that you all realized that Zatuo had not said goodbye to Stool, and you realized that he just wasn't with your group at this point.
We knew it all.
Alarmed that he was missing, you all stormed back into... Man, I'll kill you. I'll do it. I swear to God. Alarmed at Zatuo's absence, you all stormed back into Neverlight Grove looking for him. And you found him up on the eastern terrace, escorted there by Philo themselves. Once you reached the top, you encountered this strange, pustulent, crawling, writhing form of a creature that used to be a Myconid that you learned was Yestabrod, the proclaimed leader of the Circle of Masters. And they attacked you, along with the help of some Umberhawk spore servants and an enthralled and deceased Zatuo after his head split open and released a cloud of spores all around. What? What?
That's it.
Yeah.
You want to know?
I hear Fira's looking to die. Word on the street.
I tried pretty good last session.
So
That's
after
how
a
it
pretty intense
No one tried
session,
as hard
you guys took a lot of damage. It was a pretty close one, but
Aye.
you emerged with your lives and fled Neverlight Grove. None of the other Myconids or any other creatures that you encountered on your way out seemed inclined to pursue you. And so at this point you've traveled at least several hundred yards from the exit of Neverlight Grove, and finally have stopped to take a rest as you're all pretty battered from the fight. And that is where we pick up tonight.
Are we taking a bit of a break here?
Team question. If we aim for a long rest and get an hour, is that considered a short rest? If we are interrupted after 4 hours, we stick a short rest?
I guess.
Okay. I feel like that makes sense. I would think it would. But...
I would like to short rest. That would be ideal.
Roll initiative. I want a long rest. Oh.
What was your in-character question, Robert?
Are we taking a break here, or?
I think that is the plan. I think we got pretty far away so that we will not be followed. But hopefully not be followed.
We
And,
definitely need rest.
Mm-hmm.
We're not suited to venture forth into the underdark in our current state.
First smart move we've made all day.
I can go see if we're being followed or not. And I'll use the cloak of disguise to turn myself into a Myconid again.
I feel like you need to rest more.
Like, I'm not gonna fight anything. I'm just gonna look. Maybe?
Where are you going?
I was just gonna go where are we? Is this like a long straight tunnel that we're in, or is it kind of curve?
No, you guys got out of that tunnel after like 80 or so feet out of the grove, and then I imagine that you were just beelining just several hundred yards away from there.
Yeah.
So are we in a big open space right now?
Yeah, the bigger open cavern, like a pretty dense vegetation.
Okay, I've changed my mind after looking around. This is fine.
It's good to use your eyes.
It is. It's very good.
Just sit down and rest.
I'm considering it. I will do that though. Hit dice or long? Are we trying to sleep here?
Getting short.
I think we're
It is the end of the day. It's been
going for a long rest.
been pretty.
I will attempt to sleep.
Go a long rest. Who's going to watch?
I can
Theo,
take a
come
watch
on.
if you
I
want.
can take a second watch.
I could use. I need to.
Theo, please bar class, please.
Yes, Theo.
Like whining, I can handle.
How don't know what her problem is tonight.
Yes, I could take a watch. I could use some time to fix my amulet again. Every time I use it, I have to visualize it again. It takes some time.
I could take a look at it if you want.
Oh, that's okay. I'm very familiar with its intricate mechanisms.
Alright, I mean, sometimes like a fresh eye, it's fine. You play with your own toys, it's alright. Let's go to sleep. I think that's probably the best plan.
Alright, I can take the second watch after only a few hours.
Alright.
That's all I need.
All right, so you guys are gonna try and long rest here.
Yes.
Because we're like, I think that at the end we said we got like a mile out from after we exited the tunnel. We got like a mile away.
Okay.
I think that's what it was said.
Yeah.
Regardless, we're far enough away that I feel comfortable.
We can
just
watch.
trying
Worst case, you wake us up, we kill mushrooms. Big deal. Call me Mario.
Big deal.
A jump on the heads.
A jump on the head.
All right.
Oh
So it's also, I guess just before you guys rest, worth noting that it hasn't actually been a super long time since like Basidia and Stool and that group headed off west.
Did we discuss the possibility of catching up with them?
It's fine.
Yeah.
Goodbyes are awkward enough, we don't need a second one.
What?
It's fine.
He's saying he doesn't see a reason for us to try and catch up with them.
I guess. Alright.
Well, I don't know. Why would we meet up with them?
Well, I was thinking we might be able to tell them that's well.
I think we told them. That's why
we're
they
not.
left.
We're not going back to the town, right?
No.
Not in the cards.
Which town do you mean?
The one with all the dead people in it.
Neverlight.
Yeah.
That's describes a lot of Never Let Grow. Yes.
Oh,
Was
you
it
mean the
described in
patch?
that
Yes.
I mean, graveyards are a thing. Yes.
Interesting. People live in those.
Dead people live in those, but they're not alive.
So dead.
Usually.
Okay. Well, there's like alive dead people kind
Yes.
of over there, and that seems like a bad place to be.
Those are, yes.
And this is a conversation
Those are
for
undead.
scholars, clearly.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So, living dead people, those are undead people. We have different terms for this so that we do not get
So-
confused about cemeteries.
Ah. I'm sorry, where did you go to school, Nero?
Did you go to school?
Paladins.
Paladins Academy.
I'm gonna find a comfy rock to sleep on. I'm gonna go find the comfiest rock.
Roll a survival check.
Oh, that was almost 19. It is now instead a 9.
You find a medium-sized, not particularly comfortable rock to use as a.
Dude, just that one part, like just in your kidney. You're just like,
Right.
oh god, wow.
Yeah, it's really not comfortable.
I'm gonna try to sleep on a patch of dirt.
Or moss or something.
Yeah, anything softer than a rock
I'm gonna lay next to my horse.
to keep warm.
Nay.
Oh wait, we have lizards. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm sleeping on the lizard tail. Forget that. Protect my
you made
money.
your
You
choice.
take your rock and you set it on the haunch of your lizard and put your head on it and lay down.
Win-win.
No, he was in a different campaign.
Who said they're doing the next watch?
I'll do. I'm second one.
Okay.
Okay, so it's Vera then Nero.
So, also,
Vera
DM
Nero.
question.
Yes.
The stuff that we talked about on the offline, on like chat, like those roles, do we want to play that information back in any way? In terms of like what he knew about Zugtmoy, or whatever it's pronounced.
Look
like,
to me.
Tomy Electronics.
/ what I know.
I don't. I'm trying to remember exactly what the roles and everything was.
I don't. Well-ish.
19 on history for me.
I think it was 22.
Yeah, you rolled really well, and I rolled a 19 on a history check.
I remember. I think I barely remember what I needed to.
I remember what I
So I
got.
can just bring it up.
Also,
No, so it was you rolled a 19 on history, and what it was though is that the name Zugtamoy does stand out to you,
Yeah.
but not from your studies. You
No.
remember it as one of the names of the demon lords that Wickham read to you all in the Foundation.
Mm.
I would also like to, as we relax, I want to make notes of the song that I heard the mushroom people singing.
Okay. Yeah, let me find where I put that.
I'm gonna try to be
Wait,
more
I have that
hard.
paper.
Interesting.
It's copyrighted though, I'm sorry to tell you.
It's fine if you give it to me. I can copyright it down.
Copy it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll read it to you one time and then I'll just send you the actual text for it later. But
You
from-
can just send it to me,
Not reading it back.
unless you want to read it again.
Oh, okay then.
Well,
It's
go
fine.
ahead.
No, I didn't want to sing to you again. It's fine.
You can. I just knew that I wasn't gonna note the whole thing down, and I didn't want you to start and then be like, "I'm not doing anything with this information."
No, it's okay. I'll read it one more time and I'll send it to you later.
All right.
From rocky bed the toadstool rose. From chaos dark her love she shows. Wish, yearn, laugh. The lady will be wed. Crave, hunger, dance. Her joyous spores will spread. Youth is gone, beauty rots. Oromikos and Zugtamoy joined together heart to heart, becoming one till death do part.
What was
Maybe
the
I'll
name
send you
before
that.
Zook to me?
Yeah.
Or
Amigos. Or Amigos.
What the hell was that name?
Roll,
Yeah,
Around.
roll a history check, Bryn. Roll an Arcana check. Roll just an intelligence check. This one.
22.
14.
Was it really?
I know
the
two
rocks?
things.
So even with a 22, you have not heard this name before.
But I'm certain that I haven't heard this name before.
You're very confident that you have not heard this name before.
All right. Am I also confident that it's a semi-obscure name in that case?
You suspect its absence from your wealth of historical knowledge is likely due to its proximity to the Underdark and not necessarily being a being or entity or thing of the surface world.
I'm just thinking about how much more comfortable
live?
this is
I didn't think so.
than
You
Crackle
just made
Stew.
the notification.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yes, he's now following.
Hey!
I mean, it's not streaming, is it?
I
I
doubt
don't
it.
think so.
Oh,
Maybe she's just
that-
like.
Oh yeah, I should
flipping
follow
it
it.
anyways.
Just randomly.
Yes.
Well, she's driving over here later. Yeah, no, it's definitely not online right now.
We're getting a guest.
Woo!
We're selling tickets.
Can I get a spelling of that name just for my own sake?
Y.
It'll be in the song.
Okay.
Unless you need it right now, in which case I can give it to you right
I
now.
was gonna make a note.
Yeah, Oromikos.
Already fucked it up.
Yep.
ARAUMYCOS.
Yep. I'm set up.
Wow. Yeah, I was gonna be maybe 25% correct on the spelling of that.
Fun fact: tonight, Matt Colville is having his first campaign session.
Oh, tonight?
That's why the
Perfect night for us to not actually be online.
Matt
A
Colville's
plus.
DDoSing us.
Matt Colville.
That's gotta be it. Just sabotaging anyone else streaming D&D on Wednesdays.
Man, him.
We gotta find a new night, I guess. Let's
we
try
go.
the, Thursday at
Should've
10
said
o'clock
that,
slot?
That sweet
probably
Kickstarter
better.
running Matt Colville.
I think we just do
Must be
6
nice.
a.m. to 10 a.m.
I can't believe anyone would spend that much money on a bunch of Dragon minis. What am I coming in?
Sponsored by Matt Colville.
Yeah, okay. So you guys set up camp for the night, relaxing on the 5 lizards remaining in your possession and Nero's wonderful new steed.
It's a weird lizard.
Are we going to talk about that, by the way?
It's better.
Talk about what?
Your flaming horse thing.
He told me.
You
it
haven't
was-
seen it flaming.
Oh, it isn't always flaming? Is it black?
Yeah, it's jet black.
Does it look in any other way regular?
It's really big, like
And it's-
large for a Clydesdale big. It's a really
And you
big
also like
horse.
dismissed it and made it reappear.
Yeah, it would be pretty apparent to you that it's not just a standard
Yes.
horse, that it's
A modern horse.
a
a
legacy horse. Vintage horse.
I must have missed something along the way where
horse.
Tiny leaders.
Two-headed giant horse.
Battle bond
horse
horse.
disappears, comes back.
It actually is,
We
though.
talked about
Draft
this.
horse.
We talked about this as my
Oh.
skills.
That's the best one.
There we go.
That's really
I'm
good.
happy about that.
My
Sorry, we just went through like every magic format really quick, describing your horse. It's a draft horse, man.
We discussed this before. My skills as a paladin allow me to summon a steed
Horse one.
to be my companion,
All right.
Yes.
and I can dismiss it and resummon it as needed.
With the it's a Lune, right?
Bless you.
Well, she's also the horse queen.
It just had to go. The black horse,
Nay.
black armor.
Nay, that is not
Saloon,
correct.
I just don't see the connection, but okay.
Vera, are you able to sense if an item is magical?
Yeah, yes, this is something I can do.
I'm gonna inch closer.
I'm gonna hold.
To me?
I'm going to continuing to not physically touch the medallion because it seems super creepy. I'm gonna the medallion that the drow was holding.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously they recognize that it's Lolth because they've seen these things. Do I recognize it?
You. Where the fuck would I put that note?
Either way, I will cast white magic.
Okay.
Do I know what that is?
You would.
Seems reasonable, right?
Then you would know who Lolth is.
I hate drow so much.
You know so much about the Underdark,
I
which
do.
is
Yeah,
your home,
yeah.
that of course you know.
No, wait. The
You seem very.
I
cultured.
live in the Underdark.
Being from the Underdark. I mean,
Oh,
you
that's
went,
right,
You went to
yeah.
school, didn't you, Yorga?
No, I did not.
Well, it's outing
he
you.
did not go to school,
I know.
so it's
I
entirely
taught.
possible that you would not actually know specifically what it is.
It's working. Check the- okay.
Roll a history check. And you as well,
18.
Bryn.
16.
16. So you both recognize this medallion as being a medallion that bears the symbol of Lolth, the Spider Queen,
She's got a bunch of dumb
the patron deity of the drow.
Alright, I'm gonna cast it magic.
Okay.
See if it comes up.
You cast Detect Magic. It does not appear to be magical.
It does not seem like it has any special properties. Should be safe to touch, but I wouldn't trust my fingers on it.
What is it?
Remind me that to trust
No, I'm
you.
keeping a hold of it. I'm just.
I'm
Touching
gonna.
it
Can I
too.
try to take it from him?
I guess.
You just can push it on my hand. I want to
You
hold
put
it.
it on your arm.
I'll let you take it if you're letting me
I'm
experiment.
holding it.
The bear medallion.
You are holding a metallic
medallion.
medallion.
Metallic
It's a
dragon.
mimic.
It's a mimic.
It is.
It is. You're holding a dark metallic medallion of a spider.
When you hold medallions on the top side, do you also like get new powers, or is that just
Sometimes
sometimes?
All the time. What about you?
there's plenty of stories about it.
I like pull like my pendant out. I'm like all the time. Whenever I touch this,
I take mine
basically.
off.
This is.
I walk away and start tinkering with it.
I'm gonna put it on. Do I don't know what this is, right? Did we figure out if I know what this is or not?
Being from the Underdark doesn't know who.
Roll an intelligence check at disadvantage.
Oh, boy.
What? I hate drow.
You went to school. right?
Oh, damn it.
We're all right.
How was your school?
12.
12.
Yeah.
You would know that it's a drow symbol. Maybe not Loth specifically, but you would have seen other drow in the city with similar symbology on their clothes.
Is there any kind of a face?
Symbolism.
Is there any kind of a face on this medallion?
The study of
There's like the front end of the spider, but there's not like an actual face.
I will figure out a way to deface the spider.
What do you do?
I'm gonna take a dagger out a little bit. I'm gonna like carve.
I'm gonna try to stop him from messing up the medallion.
You said? Did you say it was it magic? What I've heard you say.
I walked away at this point.
Okay. Did she
Can-
say
can
it was
you
fine
please,
or
Can
no?
you please not?
It's they're garbage.
Can you
elves.
please?
I did say that. it
Here,
was magic.
I'm gonna.
They're
After
so
he says-
bad that
after he
they-
says, after he says garbage elves, I gotta just walk behind him and just like throw a bow into his back.
So you like the drow then?
Yes, I'm behind you. I just throw a bow after he says garbage elves. I just be like, poof.
Hey.
But he said they are the garbage elves. Like,
No, he just
referring to
said
the
they're
drow.
garbage elves.
I'm gonna cast minor illusion,
Well,
making
not
the spider
garbage.
look dumb, giving it like
Everybody's
googly
garbage.
eyes and
Well,
a
can
mustache.
you hold that there for a moment? So I
Yep,
can,
yep. And then I'm just gonna.
I'm gonna at least keep it. I'm gonna wear it.
Can you not? I don't trust.
What's the
you
worst?
with it
Did
anymore.
Vera say it was dangerous?
Yeah.
Insight check.
I mean,
Bring it.
how bad's your memory?
It's not great. I have
Okay.
my intelligence is 10, and my wisdom is also 10.
Okay.
I
I did.
I don't
Make
know.
a deception check, make an insight check. Don't. Oh wait, actually, I'm
Wow.
gonna do it for each
27.
of you. All right.
Dang it, my deception's also high. My insight is.
I was gonna say.
I rolled a 19.
I was gonna say, whenever anyone in our group tries to lie to someone else, the liar always wins.
If it's
We're all great
dangerous,
liars and terrible insiders.
Yeah.
Um,
It doesn't make much
I mean,
No, it doesn't really. Although actually,
Yeah,
you
it's-
you don't know for certain that it's not dangerous.
I can't remember. It's
Are you?
well,
+2.
fine. I'm never allowed to hold things that we find.
That is correct.
This
I'm
is
glad that
ridiculous.
You are learning this, and that is how it will stay.
Hey, wait, no, you still have the little like lump of metal though, right?
No.
No,
Wait,
The card
What?
deck.
I do have the deck of cards, but I found that. I'm not
That's
allowed
like-
to have things you guys find.
That's like. Well, actually, I'm not there.
It's
like 52 things.
where,
I look at the medallion in my magically gloved hand, and I go, "Fine, just don't deface it,
I'm
please."
probably not going to, and I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna put it in my pocket.
Just don't
and I'm
deface
gonna
it.
Think about it.
There's probably some drow out there that we can probably use this to make some drow trust us and then backstab them later.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Drow would never trust me.
But you can look like a drow.
Mm.
Drow have literally trusted you. You pretended to be one.
Okay.
Remember that time with that young drow girl that definitely lived to leave Greco-Stoop?
Okay, I get your point. Fine.
she's dead.
She's dead.
They killed her. She's dead.
Who said? Who's?
No, the DM
He-
said that
to
to our
the
viewer,
audience.
to our audience,
Our future
viewer.
audience.
Dear viewer,
All right.
we killed that woman.
I'm considering
did.
we
More
can
than
say
once.
if they get frustrated, we can just say that we killed whoever defaced it and tried to fix it, but they put a magical curse on it or something.
Just don't.
I'll consider it. I'm gonna sleep on the rock.
Please. Okay.
I'm gonna go sleep.
Just let this be a way of us learning to trust you with nice things.
Okay. I'm gonna wear it.
As you say that, Vera looks
Okay.
over her shoulder just to make sure
Vera,
Yormik's not coming towards her because her last name means rock.
Vera, is this thing dangerous at
I
all?
don't think so.
Okay, see, it's fine. You lied to me again. Actually, you lied to me for the first time because I don't know
Oh,
that
sorry,
you've ever
Stein.
lied to me.
Oh wow.
Yormik, let's be honest, in the count of who's lied to whom, I think I'm still.
You know, it's only lying if you know for the fact that you're wrong when you say it. Otherwise, it's just being wrong. Anyway, I'm gonna sleep
Wise
on the
words of
rock.
wisdom.
There we
That's
go.
the smartest thing he's ever said.
Yeah.
It's only lying if you know you're wrong when you say it. If you're not sure if you're wrong.
I will begin to slumber.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Uh,
Spider dream.
So you all turn in for the evening. First watch is Vera. So go ahead and roll your perception check. And are you
Tinkering.
alarming?
So I would like to, but it has a 20-foot cube area. Can I surround everyone with that?
Probably not.
Which is why
Mostly
I'm
because
doing it.
the lizards in Galapagos are large.
How about, can I surround everyone that's sleeping? Not including lizards.
Probably.
To be
You'd be
fair,
missing Galapagos too, but
I
yeah.
am
That's
sleeping.
fine. Well, Gobble was on watch anyway.
Always on duty.
So yeah, I will. Nice. I will cast. My leg's so itchy. I will cast alarm
Because it's dry.
in just around the sleeping vicinity of our camp.
Sure thing.
And just the lizards don't count, globbles don't count. Everyone's on watch doesn't count.
All right. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check for your first watch.
No, it's gonna be fine. Oh yeah.
What's that?
He's gonna see everything.
Your soul could be trapped, so
10?
you can make another check.
It's because now.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, so I just took my passive. 15.
Theo. You find a Theo there.
Is Gobble getting advantage?
So the first 4-hour watch goes by silently. There are no disturbances in the
Force.
woods around you, and
Theo.
Nero completes his meditation as expected, and you all switch off.
Okay.
I mean, it's not necessarily hugely relevant, but like, if Nero crosses the alarm, will it go off, and like, does it stay there? Or
I intentionally, anyone's in the party, I can pick people that I don't want to trigger the alarm,
okay,
and anyone that's in the party I would pick.
gotcha. Okay, yeah. So no problem. You awake Nero, and he takes up his post, and you go turn in for the evening, still surrounded by your alarm spell. Nero, please make a perception check.
Yeah.
Man, just decidedly passive
13.
in your searching. Okay. A few hours into your watch, off in the distance, actually south of you, not even east, because you basically went out west from that western side of Neverlight Grove. You could swear you heard some sort of like small scuttling of maybe some sort of critter, but you focus in and listen in, and for a few minutes just focus intently trying to see if you hear it again, but you do not. The remainder of your watch passes uneventfully.
What I tell you.
I'd like to take a minute, like standing by my horse,
Just never worry.
and
did
I
you
just
call
want to like look around a little bit, and then sort of look at my blade, look back at the horse, and say, "So do you have a name?"
The reply that it impresses upon you takes the form of a question. It says, "What would you call me, Master?"
Oh,
Interesting choice.
I turn and look toward the horse, and I say again, "Is it you I'm talking to this time, or is it the other?"
Oh wait, who are you trying to talk to? I thought you were trying to communicate with the horse.
No.
Oh,
Well,
Okay.
okay. Too.
Make sure.
My benefactor.
Thank you.
well, in that case, you do not receive a response.
Just trying to give me the
After waiting for a
First,
few
like,
moments of like not hearing anything
So I
back,
understand that you were
I'll be like,
your
fine. Do you know what that
No, I
was?
just wanted to
That
make sure to share the items that
Mention of Zug Tamoy and whatever was going on in that city.
Still no response.
I just give up at that point and just go over and continue my watch.
Do I have an opportunity to rewind my
It's
amulet
so funny after you
during
give
this
that
rest?
information. Like,
Make the tinker check.
For this. Jeez, that's plus.
yeah, I'm gonna start.
Tinker,
getting
yeah, okay.
ever
Tinker's
known
choice.
for our ongoing knowledge.
Ugh. 13.
13,
That'd be low.
which I was gonna say I think
I have
it's
I have the formula here.
Get a
Yeah.
dry one.
Just use my shirt.
25 minus 13.
so 12.
Who's the scar?
It's not too terrible.
No,
What is your medallion?
It's also not good.
you guys saw it work once. Where it sort of like one of the gears inside started spinning very fast and getting red hot, and then when I got hit, what did it look? What did I look like?
It was a bit of a almost like like hitting a glamour, not entirely dissimilar from your warding glyph that you were sort of able to interpose between some of the hits. Although it seemed to be more, it surrounded your person as opposed to sort of free floating more, almost, if that makes sense.
It's like global to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to reduce damage.
Okay. Sweet.
All right. Well, what passes for morning here comes after several more hours. And you all gain the benefit of a long rest.
Never worried.
Mm-hmm.
Do we get full healed or do we get just hit die back? Do we?
You go to full HP, and then you get half rounded down of your hit dice back. Or half rounded up. I don't really know
Half
if it
rounded
matters.
down, I think.
And I think it's down.
It shouldn't matter at level 6, but
Right.
But it might.
Half is half.
it might.
It could be 3, or it could be 3.
Could be either 3. I want the rounded up 3.
Where are my hit dice?
How about let's just alternate it every level? We'll round it down for even levels and round it up for the other levels.
I think that's fair.
Yes.
All right. So, you all awaken in the morning, feeling reasonably rested. The remains of Zatuo are still in Neverlight Grove.
Yep.
Stool is gone, and at this point, it is just the 7 of you and your trusty mounts. What do you do?
Jimjar, where is your city from here? Do you have like the GPS in your head as well, or do I have to guide us again?
It's northwest.
Okay.
About, okay, so we've traveled, for like a little over a 10-day north. It's like about 2 10 days from Gracklestug, so I don't know, you do the geometry.
I will not.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Okay. I mean, there's just so many landmarks down here in the underground that we can use. But I guess I'll like spin in a circle. and
Down
point
here in the underground?
that way.
It's like me referring to anything as being up here above ground.
Roll a d8.
There's just not much up here above ground to look at, you know? Got it.
8.
Nice.
I spin in a full circle.
I mean, did you guys follow him? Yormek spins around in a circle, pointing, and then just starts walking in a direction.
I'm going to use
Yes. Yeah.
the stone of direction to figure out what direction he's walking in.
He's walking northwest.
Yeah, I'll follow him.
I'll follow Bryn.
That's where
Wait,
Northeast.
Did you say that lucky feet?
Oh,
or no?
northeast. Oh, okay.
We are 90
yet.
degrees off of Jim Jar's
I'm
advised course.
gonna like go walk kind of over in front of him and just like try to herd him as if a sheepdog. Just
I mean, I'll go along with it, but I'm not gonna
Okay.
be thrilled about it.
You heard Yormik until he is walking approximately northeast.
So, tell me about your city again. It's like, who lives there? I
You talking to Jim Jar?
yeah.
I mean, it's what do you want to know about it? It's
Well-
just, it's a city.
So like, are there opportunities for us there as well? Or like, what do you do? What do you do for like a living in the city?
I mean, I haven't been there in a while.
Well, right, but you were there at one point.
Yeah.
What did you do before you were a slave person?
I was an entrepreneur.
So you were also a thief.
That's probably accurate.
Were you asked to leave the city?
I freaked it out so fast.
I caught many
you
thieves
know
in
how
my
you're able
life.
to send your shield out
Sure.
in front of other. It's similar but emotional.
It's an emotional shield.
It's projection.
Let's see how that's what help. It's okay.
So did you get kicked out of the city, or why did you leave?
No, Yormik, I never got caught.
Well, that seems unlikely,
Allegedly.
since you were a slave for a little while, but
Uh,
it can't be denied. You s-
All right, so I mean, I took my talents somewhere else, and
Where was that?
there was a small town. All right, it was.
a power strip.
Look, all right, I took a bad deal
know where my plug is.
with
I got you.
a dude
No, I got it.
who worked out of Menzo Baronzon and kind of just screwed over the wrong guy.
What was his name? He sounds very important.
He is not someone you would generally want to cross.
Long name.
So I have a feeling, just because, like, have you guys told me Menzo Baronzon was attacked at one point?
Yeah.
I don't know if
It's come up. We've
Yeah,
talked.
we
We've talked about
mentioned
it too many times.
We
recently.
mentioned it.
So given that the city's probably destroyed, like they said, the Fish People's village was destroyed. He's probably dead.
Wait,
No.
You've gotten no information out of Slugwood since you guys were last there.
No,
And so you've got none.
no. They said that Subaldab was destroyed, and they said that
Oh.
Menzo
That's
Baronzon had been
Yeah.
attacked.
No.
So I'm drawing a line there.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so the same thing that's attacked Slubaldab would attack Menzo Beringson? Yeah.
That's correct.
Probably.
But we at least know that it's not likely that it completely destroyed Menzo Baronzon, because Lady Ilvara was still making communications with that dark elf, or that drow girl that we ran into.
We could. My assumption was Menzo Baronzon was mostly destroyed.
It was at
But-
least significantly damaged.
Right, but it didn't necessarily wipe out the entire populace.
Right. So, my concern is, Jimjar, last we spoke of your city, it was once under the control of the drow, you said?
It was what, I don't know, almost maybe a decade ago now that something like that. I don't know. It was a while ago, but yeah, the drow came and pretty much decimated Blingdenstone. It was about, I don't know, a couple years later they sent there was a coalition of people that went back and retook the place, but the last, I don't know, several years now, it's just been sort of them trying to rebuild. There used to be thousands of Zwerfneblin in Blingdenstone, but at this point, there might just be a few hundred in there.
So, is there still a significant drow presence in Blingdenstone? Do they have
No, we
influence
drove
there?
them all out.
Completely.
As far as I'm aware.
That's good. I was just making sure we weren't going to have any unexpected visits from that crazy priestess again.
Who?
We'll tell you about it later.
Do you keep saying this?
She's a garbage person. It's fine.
It's fine.
No, well, different.
That may be enough for you, Ulrich, but maybe it's not.
You know it is.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But it's not enough for me.
So, we're going to Blingdenstone. What are you gonna do there now? Like, do you have like a family or friends or a network of other thieves known as like the White Whalers or something like that instead of the Grey Ghosts? I don't
Theo,
know.
come here.
Yo, come on.
We'll settle for just whining again. That was cute. Yeah, I mean, I know some people there. It's been a while since I've been back, but I'm sure I know at least a few people there still. And no, I don't think there's anything called the White Whales.
White Whalers.
Whale? Yeah, still no.
How do you even know what a whale is?
It's not like the ghosts. They go like the whalers.
Like whale-
they
like with an
wail.
eye.
So like if there was a group of people that were whaling, they would be
Yes.
called the whalers.
Yep.
Does that
Kind of
carry
like
a-
the Great Cedar.
Does that carry a different
Not a tree.
context up north?
Yep, it certainly would. That makes more sense.
What about the Black Banshees?
That would have been so much better. I was put on the spot.
Nope, nobody put you on the spot. You just asked about it.
That's
it
the
was
same.
entirely your own volition.
It's true.
So we're taking you. You want to go back?
Scarfield?
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a hell of a lot better place than Valkenvelv and Gontagrim and Neverlight Grove and Slubladop.
Fair
Cracker.
share.
What about the spider webs though?
I wouldn't
Those
really
were
count
alright.
that as like a city place that I would want to stay.
It was a gathering of
Ideas.
Theo.
creatures.
come on.
It was a gathering of creatures in some kind of society ish.
I stand by my dislike of it.
Do you know how far away we are from this place,
Which place?
Blingdenstone?
Yeah, I mean, I told you it's like about 10 days away from Gracklestug. I mean, we've gone about a dozen days almost due north from there to get to Neverlight Grove.
Right.
If you can do geometry, you can figure it out.
I can't. I don't know how far.
But what about that school that you were talking about?
Look,
You
I've
had-
never pretended to go to school.
I hear they are taking applications.
Look,
to
I
paladins.
don't know. I don't know exactly how long it's going to be. I
Not sure it's
know
quite the right
about the
line
heading
here.
that we're going to take, and it shouldn't be more than 10 days from where we are.
All right. Well, let's go. I think. Yeah. Everybody good?
Please.
Other than the crazy woman that's chasing you and the
You'll never need to know about it.
demigorg. Yeah, sure.
She's not. She's no longer chasing us. I went through her desk. It's fine.
All right, and then there's this. I don't see it as the same person, but and then there's this demigorgon that is just, trouncing around in the dark.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like it's gonna
And
walk
now-
Oh, but
out.
we're not talking about it.
And now it
It's not like it's
sounds-
gonna walk out of one of these walls or anything.
Now it sounds.
You wanna
to
talk
be
about it?
Zuktmoy again.
That
All
thing
right,
might
so-
walk out of a wall. That's a problem.
Well, I'm not. What you want to go back and take care of one of those? Is that what you're saying?
No, I want to be well informed.
Oh well, you can keep complaining, or we can keep moving.
That's pretty low definition of complaining. I'm gonna be honest with you, Nero.
Just not what to talk about.
You know what is
I'll go
good?
to-
Tolerance.
Yormik, tell us all about tolerance.
I think I'd like to hear you explain it. I'm
I don't know the
specifically.
meaning of the word.
I am very specifically intolerant, as it's been described so far.
So most creatures topside
Coexist.
like to ignore superficial differences like skin color.
So what you're
and
saying is
height.
there haven't been wars fought topside over which race is the best?
There have been,
Oh,
but
there's
those are all by
something-
worse people. You have to understand. I go to a bard college. We're better than that.
Mm. This is the school you'd refer to.
No,
No,
but
that's-
it'd be
You don't
better.
want to go to paladins.
It'd be better
Should we go
than
to
whatever
this
you
one?
went to, which is nothing.
Well, I'm gonna walk
Vera,
forward.
Vera, what would you like to talk about with the Demogorgon?
Is it? I mean, I don't know very little about what is going on. You guys have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not supposed to be here.
Mhm.
And are you? Do you have any plans about this? Are you trying to run from it?
You already know more than me.
Dread it, run from it. The Demogorgon comes all the same.
We are running away from where we last saw it.
Okay, and do we know why it's here or?
No,
No, we had a friend who seemed to have an inkling of an idea of why it's here.
no,
But
he just needed to kill it.
I think
Right.
there was a person
Yeah,
following
he-
us who thought.
He doesn't have a brain anymore, though.
Yeah, that's true. He went with a mind flare for some reason.
All right.
He was an idiot,
They wouldn't
Seems
let me come.
advised.
Terrible personality.
honestly.
I wanted to join.
Yet another.
Real
Yeah.
piece of shit. Had kids, you would have hated him.
Yet another father figure to let Yormik down.
Just I
Same
don't-
old, same old.
I
They all
don't like
keep
the
dying.
answer. We will talk about it later. That's,
I mean,
Well, we can talk about it now. We're talking.
I
we're
know,
talking
but
about
when you
it.
say I thought there was more. If we have already talked about everything, then why would we talk about it later if there wasn't? anything
He
more to talk
says
about?
that. I don't know.
all right.
Nero sometimes
So the
says
only
things
thing-
without thinking.
The only thing that I would say. The only aside from the alright, so if you want all the details, first of all, Yormik, you can trust him about as far as he can throw a rock, which is not far.
It's
at
pretty
all.
far.
It's
I'm gonna
minuscule.
pick up a rock.
Is this
Unless
like-
he does it with
Is this like where one always tells the truth and one always lies?
yes,
Is that one of those? Okay.
yes, that is exactly what it is.
Except
I'll let
the
you
other one
figure out
lies,
which
too.
one is which.
I have my suspicions.
So, as you've probably gathered by now, Yormik he's kind of like, if I had to equate him to something, it would be the jester of the group.
Okay.
Sounds
and-
powerful.
Yes, it's incredibly powerful. Yes, absolutely. And the last, the last thing that we have to worry about that's on our radar, whatever radar is
It's in our sensors. What are sensors?
is originally when Bryn and I actually met. Yormik hadn't joined us at this point, and prior to us even running into the Demogorgon, we met as slaves in Velkenveld. We had been captured. Us, Jimjar, Eldith, Stool,
So everyone but Yormik.
mostly.
Pretty much.
yes.
Never been captured.
And
Never.
basically, there were some followers of Loth that were going to sell us into slavery at Menzo Baranzan. We escaped from there,
They've been chasing
but
you.
the lady of that outpost of Velkenveld was not happy about that, and she seems to have some sort of vendetta against us.
Alright, this is good
So
to know.
there you go.
If I see a group of drow sneaking up on all of us in the middle of our sleep, I know that they are probably not friendly.
Or you'll be able
I'm
to smell
assuming.
first.
I would assume that you would think that
Well,
regardless.
probably, but I think the little trepidation I had would be quickly dismissed. I'm faster
Fair.
now that I know this.
Just fair enough.
Just kill him. It's fine.
Well, I would probably awake the rest of you first, so that they didn't catch us all unawares. But yes, I assume.
But if you do have something up your sleeve where you could just kill them without even waking us up, your mix's idea there, I absolutely
I mean,
back it. Go for it.
I can try, but like I said,
Just how
I
about
focus
this?
more on keeping people alive than I do killing them.
Fair. If the drow do find us somehow, which they won't, but if they did, you take the first crack, then wake us up.
All right, it's not gonna be a very strong crack.
And word of advice: the best way to keep your companions alive is to kill all of your enemies.
Or run away faster than they can chase you.
But then that could be a problem later.
Then you let someone else deal with that.
That's me. I'm that someone else.
Yes, well,
I'm also
Welcome to the group.
normally I'm only keeping 1 or 2 people alive. All 6 of you is a bit more challenging.
That's alright. Just keep an eye on him. He's got a death wish, I think.
I
Don't
mean,
know what it is.
things try to
And
kill
also
me.
keep an eye
Notice this?
on him because
He's been fine so
he
far.
kind of holds us together.
Uh,
I say that under my
Except
breath
for-
so that Bryn can't hear me.
Except for that time he tried to leave.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you
He was having alcoholism problems. There's a lot that's been going on.
uh,
Do you feel like you're up to speed now?
Vaguely, yes.
Does this help you? Do you have any other questions?
If
Or
I
can
do,
we
I will
carry
speak up
on?
when I find them. But at least I know who your enemies are, because I want to know if I'm tied in with you, who I need to be wary of.
It feels like anybody we run into down here is our enemy, so it's pretty safe to assume that even if we don't list them, they probably want to kill us.
This is probably a good call in the Underdark when you are all from the top side.
Correct.
So lucky for you, I am here.
Oh, maybe.
What a day of conversation.
All right, so you guys travel basically north and northeast, very pointedly attempt making sure that you give Neverlake Grove a fairly wide berth. You travel an entire day, heading about northwest as much as you can. And finally, your feet won't carry you anymore, and you set up for the night. You've traveled a fair few miles. You're probably, on average, it's like 6 miles in a normal day, assuming there's nothing major holding you back. And you all set up camp. The thickest of the fungi forest is behind you at this point. Shut up.
We didn't say
I know. When I saw you, and then you looked at him, and then I looked at him, and he looked at you, and eye contact was had.
We should feel
Fun guy is a
ashamed.
pun.
Alright, maybe more subtle.
Fun guys is a pun, guys.
You said it! You said it!
Did you just give yourself DM anti-inspiration?
Yeah, I did. I really did.
Great for us.
Kevin's like, you know what? There's no more fungi ever. That's it. You're
There are
gone."
only mushrooms and lichens.
And unfun guys.
I liken that.
You die of a heart attack. No, really, reroll. No, I'm just kidding. You become the DM. You deal with this shit. You deal with yourselves.
No!
No, God, fate worse
What
than
have I
that.
done?
The Bryn in charge of the universe.
It's Bryn's sanity.
Yeah,
Honestly, though, I think it would work out. I think Bryn would just be about as great as he expects himself to be.
that's reasonable. Petty tyrant.
Such a good description.
So you all set up your camp for the night. Find a decent sized clearing and set up a campsite pretty similar to the previous nights. But you guys aren't going to roll for tonight because the next 2 days or so of travel is pretty similar. A few near miss encounters with some random wildlife living in the forests down here, but nothing you couldn't sneak past or easily dispatch or just scare away with, a fireball maybe thrown up in the sky.
How many levels do we gain during that?
None.
Oh, okay.
You go back to level 5 actually for
And by
asking.
none, he
That's
means
great.
replace the O with an I, and we're level 15 now.
Man, level 15. All right. Well, I mean, the Demogorgon shows up then, I guess. I don't know.
Easy.
Yeah.
Time it.
It brings us friend.
All right. So yeah. So you guys are gonna travel like this for 3 days.
Including the first day that we had conversation.
Yeah. So the first day.
Conversation day. Then
Yeah.
2 more
Conversation
days.
day, and then 2 more days go by.
Okay. So now we're
3
on
days total.
the 4th day.
Yes, but for the sake of
Keeping it
abbreviating the travel, we're going to do campfire stories again.
See that?
CMP is back already.
So we need to pair these.
I'm going to come up with a new name for that too.
What?
Campfire stories.
At least it's only me that does it. Mitch isn't here anymore.
ground flame stories time. Fiction,
Fire
fiction
tales.
writing.
Wait, we're breaking them up.
Bulbix?
Okay, that's easier.
Fire tales.
Okay. So the last time, this is basically going to be over a series of nights. So it's not like everyone's like, cool, well, just tonight, let's all tell stories about ourselves. So yeah, this is basically supposed to be over the course of several days and whatnot. So remind me, the last times that we did this, you had,
Loss?
it was either gain or loss.
It was loss.
Because either way, it was about
Yormik was the only one
Ander.
with a happy
It
story.
was a
a
great
happy
story.
loss story, yeah. Nero, we just didn't do because you weren't there the last time we did this.
Well, I just told my story.
Right, but that was like multiple sessions later from
Yeah.
when we actually did the rolling.
I think I lost too.
I think you also had
But-
loss.
I know what
But
story
you
it's
changed it.
Yeah.
You gave each of us a different. You were like, okay, you had lost, but instead do.
I'm just trying to make sure we don't do all the
Right.
same things again. Yormik, do you remember what you had?
I
Good
had
game.
something about Gracklestug because I talked about the founding of Gracklestug. So something about like a history or
What
an
did she have?
achievement.
Maybe it
I
was.
think her dog food.
Maybe it was like. Maybe you got love because you were like, yeah, let me tell you about just like the founding of the greatest city
It might have
ever.
been it. It was something very exciting.
Okay. So today we're gonna go with love, loss, gain, pain. No, that was kind of what you did last time, anyways.
Me?
You can both. You're both gonna be gain.
Both gonna be gay.
Yeah.
I get the sad one. Loss.
And it doesn't have to be groundbreakingly depressing or be like, here's my backstory on a silver platter, but yeah. So your first night camped out on this first several days of journeying. You're all seated around a very, very minimalist campfire as you've grown accustomed to in your time in the Underdark. Partially because it's fairly temperate down here, and partially because light is just an absolute beacon to the creatures who live down here. And Globagul actually starts reminiscing about this really cool time when he was living in the temple and these this crazy loud crashing noise happened, and like almost a baker's dozen people came into his temple, and then he found out that they were able to get rid of Gary because that guy was an asshole. But that was like the first time that he had ever made any friends. This story sounds mostly foreign to you.
Yes.
And even to you.
Yeah, no, I don't know any
because
of this.
neither of you would have actually been around for like the Galapagos origin story.
That's issue 1.
And honestly, it's entirely possible that it ends vaguely enough that like you wouldn't even necessarily like you could be like, oh well, maybe that's these guys, but it also could have just been another big group of people. That's true. So yeah. So you hear about this asshole named Gary and Globagul's time living in a temple, and this giant like crashing noise happened, and then people came in, and Globagul made friends, and then the temple flooded, and he left.
On to adventures.
Globagul story time is best story time.
It's true. It's the most familiar story time also.
I'll tell you a story of loss when we forgot to steal Zatua's +1 longsword before we left. Carrying on.
I don't know. You said that there was a pile of ashes left. You should have said a pile of ashes and a magical longsword.
If it was still there.
Look, even before you left, I very pointedly mentioned that you were like Stool was heading west, and you left Zatua's remains in Neverland Grove.
You did specifically mention those, and I felt bad that we wouldn't be giving him a proper burial.
And his boots of jumping and sprinting.
We can go
In
back.
his spice pouch.
No, don't if you can. Cave in.
It's just literally no different behind you.
Whole thing.
It's gone. It's entirely gone.
So,
I meant to come up with one of
I
these.
do have something to apologize to you guys about.
We forgive you.
So,
Oh, wait, hold on.
well, not to you. I mean,
Okay.
everything I've done for you has been great, but
Was that one of the lies?
no.
It was one of the ambiguous ones that sometimes they just don't make sense.
Just assume that it's a lie, and sometimes you'll be pleasantly surprised.
So,
That's advice.
Do that. Yes.
so that
Thank you, Brittany.
if you remember the black dragon that we fought before,
Yep. No, I don't remember.
don't remember. We killed the
Sounds
dragon.
sounds vaguely familiar.
I looked
Yeah.
down at my armor. Don't remember that one. Definitely not.
I look down at my body.
So that wasn't the first time I had tried to fight that. I lost. Well, some some friends of mine and I, well, mostly them, convinced me that it would be an easy way to change our lives for the better, to get the mines freed, and one of those friends was the son of the armor smiths that we knew whose mine it was, and we asked him about it. He said it was a younger dragon and figured it would be fine. It wasn't. He went in first, and we didn't see it in its lair that was down there. We tried the same thing that I did with you all. We went in the water and thought the other side might have some value behind it. And Olmar was his name. He went over first, went invisible, and he went under the water and came back and said there were more riches than we could have thought, and Joran, and he went back under, and The next thing I knew, the ground shook more than it ever had before, and they never came back out. I ran, and the only place of refuge I had in the city left at that armor shop was gone. So I'm sorry for what it cost you and for what it cost me. Very specifically not making eye contact with Bryn during this conversation.
Bryn wouldn't have been around for them looking around to try to find the dragon's treasure.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys spotted the dragon, huh?
And one.
Well, you're not standing here, so.
I think
okay,
I think the score ended up being 1-1 at the end of that fight, though.
I would agree.
Yes, we've lost lots of people. We've lost 2 since yesterday. Or since a few days ago, anyway. Of course, only one of them died.
One was deliberate.
Yes, this is one of them.
Actually, 2 died. Rumping up, man. Rumping up died.
Yeah, but I meant since
Look, I get it. You don't care, but just like
Listen,
kind of pretending.
I was talking about since we got
Don't-
things that
Like,
don't matter. Rump and dump. It's like you have.
Jeez.
It's like you have. No, next.
Stool's
Lost
gone.
your-
We don't
lost
need to
your
pretend
brain, lost
anymore.
your-
We had 2 pets, and one of them we liked a lot better than the other.
One lost his
If you
brain.
have a dog and a goldfish, you don't care if the goldfish.
Oh god.
Accurate.
You're not wrong.
Well, yes. One lost his brain, one got teleported to a different plane. One
He
died
might
in
still be
sight.
alive.
Mm.
Yeah, that's true. I
Not
forgot
likely.
about 9.
He was the dog.
We've lost a lot of people.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
one
sort
died
of.
in the fight, one you sent away willingly, and one opened his head up in the attack assault.
Technically, I died for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, so that was -1 + 1.
Yeah.
We also had-
net equal.
Mhm.
We also had a cleric with us that died to the Demogorgon.
We also had twins
They're
that
probably,
just ran off.
They're probably dead.
They're fine. They're probably fine.
Honestly, the fact that the majority of you survived the Demogorgon is fairly impressive.
We also had a Quagoth with us that thought he was an elven prince.
Was he?
Also,
Well, he was a Quagoth.
I'm pretty sure he was a prince.
He was something,
the ghost
but
of
now
Tyr
he's just dead.
says he was not
So
a prince.
Maybe someone to protect the prince. That's what people like me are for.
Well,
mm.
were you traveling
I mean,
with
you
the
couldn't
prince
even
earlier?
protect the people you were traveling
recently.
with. So.
Well,
She's done a good job with us so far.
Who is the most famous person that
She's
You mean we've done a good job with her so far?
some baron of
She, I guess she's protected.
I guess you
yours.
haven't needed it. Look,
What
Yormik would have had a
Yes.
much tougher time through
It
all
is a-
those fights.
it is a
if it wasn't
surface
for
city, yes.
Vera.
You would have had this.
It's Waterdeep. It's
I
it's
tried.
on the surface.
Who is it? Who is his name?
You got
I don't remember actually. I never got his name, but after we were done, that's how I got into the order.
That's impressive. Where does he? Was he doing business in Gracklstug?
Well, I was doing business in Krakelstug. I was getting a sort of piece of the gear for a gear piece for Rimple, my master. And as I was going through the streets, Waterdeep is a very big city. I mean, you know how packed it is. But I was going down a side alley, and came out in a different street, and there was this like ornate sort of carriage, and these people jumped out of like the alleyways and tried to ambush the carriage, and the horses went crazy, and the one guy inside, his guards came out, tried to fight the assassins, and he ran away, ran right into me, and asked me to help him. So the assassins saw us together, thought I was protecting him, and then they're coming after me too. So we ran away. We twisted and turned through a few alleys. They were chasing us down, and we eventually got into this sort of this abandoned 2-story building, and we ran up to the 2nd floor. And this is probably a good half a century ago, when I did not know all the spells that I know now. But we got inside one of the rooms. It was sort of a dead end, but I was able to sort of close the door behind us and put a lock sort of spell on it, which bought us a little time. And then I took a chair, I threw it out the window, on the other side of the building. Oh, Theo.
Oh, yes, Bill.
Then I made us both invisible and told them to be very quiet. And so eventually they got in the room by breaking the wall down instead of the actual door. And when they saw the broken windows, they assumed that we went out that way, and we lost them. It wasn't too long after that the I can't remember his name. There have been very, very tough names. But he introduced me to the Order of Magists and Protectors of the city, and I found some much more a good way to make some more money in the city. Better than just doing errands for my master. He was not happy with me. I took some time, did a little bit of worked myself a little bit there, and made some good money. And he was not happy to find that it took him so long to return his item. But the roads were dangerous, and there was rain. He doesn't know. I speak his name, so it will come back to me.
Interesting. You know, Brain, it's been 2 days since I told you I'd already fought the dragon. You can talk to us now.
He's just been silent for 2 days since then, just like silently fuming.
Trying to think of a name. We'll come up with something. So before going off out of the college of lore that I went to, I briefly was in the school learning some about history, and biology, and mathematics for a time. And during that time, I met another half-elf girl. Her name was Tarla, and she was so studious, very very learned, and knew so much of histories. She knew tons about the spell plague, and also so much about lore and mythology. She was a paragon of information that I wished that I could be. And we became fast friends. Her wealth of information paired well with my love of performance and song and story. And I thought that we paired well together. And then after I asked if she would want to go traveling together, she declined. She said that our families wouldn't approve. Which, what do I care of families' approval? She said that her family would never let her be seen with someone who shared even half the blood that I had. I still don't know what she meant by it. I don't know. She may have been a different half elf. She didn't much talk of her family, but
sounds like she sort of had a stick up her ass. Or at least her family did.
But the kind of the girl that she was beautiful, just and so knowledgeable, and just an incredible scholar. One that you don't find often at a bard school, but
I'm still waiting to work out, but
Said she was also a half elf and rejected you because of
mm-hmm.
if sharing half the blood or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Day 4.
Another day, another story.
George Mass, just like 24 hours remain.
The Demogorgon looms.
Better be a good story.
Look at
Oh,
really,
well, this
really
one I
long.
just made up.
The last one I
luck,
thought was
guys.
good, but the other guy's not having it.
So, I come from a very old family. The name Amaris has been around for centuries before my birth. I was about to die if it was natural. The name Amaris has been around for centuries, and centuries before me even. My family has always been devout followers of Selene. As a matter of both tradition and just personal commitment and choice to her. Our founder was, I'm told, incredible. Deft with all sorts of magics, weaponry, a legend, if you will. And most of my kin, since then, have not shown the prowess that he possessed. There have been many talented members within my family line. However, none of them were near his stature.
Short.
No. However,
Was that a short joke?
As I began growing up, there were always eyes on me, and I didn't know why.
Were you a beholder?
No, I was raised by them. That's why there were always eyes on me.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Be more clear next time. But
I have questions for you later, Glabagul. Finish the story.
So, growing up, there were always eyes on me, and it took me a long time to understand why. But anything I picked up, I was good at. In terms of my studies for Selune, my studies with just weaponry in general, and it came the time where I needed to figure out my calling. Most of my family before me had been priests or clerics, followers of Selune. However, I was told that I was destined to be the first paladin since the founder of my kin. And I was told it was a great honor, and that it was my duty to go out and accomplish great things in the glory of Selune. And at this time I was still young. I was not nearly what one would consider an adult among elves. However, the light in the eyes of my family members, the pride that they saw in me, it was overbearing. It was hard to handle for anyone. I was no older than you are now, Bryn. And I that night, I fled in fear because the mantle of responsibility of the century-old family line tells you that you are the next gem of the dynasty.
No pressure.
I went out that night to flee from that responsibility, and it ended up being a night of a full moon, by no mere coincidence. I found myself in front of a lake, undisturbed, pure, the reflection of the moon, clear as could be, and staring at it, and then looking up. All I could feel was Sulune's comfort, as if she was with me, as if she was placing a hand on my shoulder. And at that point I knew that I was ready for this responsibility. I knew that it was no mere coincidence that I was given these gifts, and that it was my responsibility not to my family, but to her to do this. And that is why I live the way that I do now, and I do the things that I do.
How did you end up down here in the Underdark?
Well, let's just say, for now, a mistake.
I'm sensing we're not going to talk about this now.
A mistake. No, a mistake on my part in a
Talk
hunt.
about it later.
In a hunt for some lycanthropes.
Do you think your Sulune sent you here for a reason?
Perhaps. There are other forces that work in this world than just her.
Yes, there are. Like a demigorgon. But
Unfortunately.
I never prescribed really to any particular god myself. Nothing really. It wasn't a very common thing in my hometown, so it's sort of hard for me to relate. I don't know if anyone else here has any strong attachments. But what about you, Glabagul? What deity do you worship?
Deity.
It's like a really powerful person who can perform magic. Typically great destructive or creative acts.
You're describing me, or like
Well,
That is a tough one.
at least both of us for certain.
I mean, I guess. Oh, it's between Yuck Yuck and Spiderbait. I don't really. Okay, it's tough to tell which one of them was more world-changingly powerful. You have really given me something to think about, though, Vera. It telepathically slurs to you.
I mean, perhaps he managed to slur telepathically.
You know, Glopagul.
I am an ooze of many talents.
Glopagul, something that many devout followers of religions do is they make sure to share their faith with the rest of the world. And once you make up your mind between Yuck Yuck and Spiderbait, I will be more than happy to help you preach to the world the wonder that is your deity.
Really? Oh, man.
Absolutely.
Brain, you're like the best, man. That's so cool of you.
That, I mean, just what I see in you is maybe the most impacted.
What? I have something in me? What?
You usually do, don't you? Do you not?
No.
Maybe not.
I think I am mostly clear most of the time.
Sometimes you have bones rumbling around in there.
Right, but like, then they
I guess it
dissolve and I like eat them.
That could be a skeleton, maybe. We can call it a skeleton.
in my closet.
What's a closet?
Place where you put stuff behind doors.
That's just a room.
I mean, What is a closet but a room for clothes?
I don't expect this level of philosophy from this group here. I'm a little impressed.
No, I'm sorry. I do not floss. I do not have hands or teeth.
You also don't flosses. I don't.
No,
Your origin story must.
I'm
be
gonna
amazing.
take a line of thread, cut it, and just put it into Glopagool.
I mean, it's just literally just normal thread.
Yeah.
As soon as it breaks the surface of Glopagool, it starts dissolving. Oh, that tickles.
There you go, flossing.
Oh, okay.
It's not
It starts.
I've seen
It
the kids
starts
do this
jiggling.
flossing, but it does not look like this.
Yes.
No.
Jiggle floss.
Stop.
Just Glopagool. That's the best experience. That's like the best religion I've ever heard of. It's literally the most positively impacted I've ever been by a religion.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Nero just killed our new friend and savior, Spiderbite. And
That's right. I did do that.
and his lord and savior, Yuck Yuck, went over and rescued him from the evil javelin of impalement. And then
Someone writing this down.
they were saved by the
Gospel of Glopagool.
they were saved by, I guess, then their life savior, Nero Amaris. Man, that guy, he does some shit. And then they went on to spread the word of however long it'd take to cross the spider webs, which, I mean, he was right. He must be able to see the future. And, yeah, how's that for a start?
Wonderful.
Okay.
I copy it all.
Inscribe the whole thing.
I copy it all down. I have a pen and paper. I will copy it all down, and I will make.
I can see it now. Forward by Bryn Stormwind. I'm not sure what you would say in 4 words that would get a lot of meaning across, but hey, I mean, I didn't invent the books.
I think, hey, I didn't invent the books is a plenty good forward.
But that would be 5 words.
He didn't go to school. Give him a break.
Oh, you are so right. I am so sorry. I did not mean to be very sassy and judgmental like that. It's probably Gary rubbing off on me. That guy was a dick.
Did he actually do? Do you need to talk about
no. Oh no.
Stop it. No.
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 I mean, I am talking to you.
Okay, I just want to make sure you know how to set boundaries. How did we get here, Kevin?
I did not do this. You did this.
This is all of you.
Why did you let me bring us here? You all know someone needs to stop me.
Vera interjects.
Okay. Glopagool, what were you saying before about this beholder?
Behold what now?
Have you seen a beholder?
Uh,
Did you run into one during your
don't.
travels?
think so. What does a beholder look like?
You made the joke about the many eyes on a person.
Do you remember that smaller thing? Wait.
Yeah, we
no.
ran into
wasn't with
those.
us.
What Bryn mentioned, we ran into those
Bacterias.
little. We didn't know that. He didn't know that was the name.
Never
But you ran into those they were like mini beholders, less stalks, but
You fought it.
yeah.
Did you kill it?
Easily.
Yes, we killed it. Yeah.
Do you have any pieces of it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would,
I
Do.
are
think.
you doing anything with them? Because I would very much like to see them.
How much is worth to you?
They would like to see you too.
But they can't see anymore, for the record.
So, roll an Arcana check for this.
No, it's
26.
So you know that the specific part that you would be interested in when it comes to a spectator would be the eye,
The center eye or any of the eyes?
the center eye.
Yeah.
I don't know if we brought that. I don't think we did.
I believe you took the 4
Stalked.
stocks.
I don't think we took the actual eye.
Okay, well, if you can see up the stocks. If it's just the stocks, then never mind.
What would you be doing with it if we had it, just in case one of us is keeping it hidden from you for no particular reason?
That is the most Yormik question you could have possibly asked. And it's amazing because we know you don't actually have it, but you're just like, hey, what if I was really suspicious right now? Huh? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Which just makes it all the more Yormik.
Do you? Because I would be willing to pay for it.
Well, perhaps it potentially is going to a charity, but I want to see if you have a better use for it first.
I really don't know if I believe.
I'm going to go start my watch.
I absolutely have the center eye of this ball that was flying.
I'm gonna try and insight him.
Even
though I'm
sure.
terrible,
No,
he's
roll
really
an
good at
insight check with advantage.
What?
Yeah.
19. Much less.
You lie constantly.
21.
24.
And Nero was like,
Still
oh.
in, see?
And Nero was like, oh, we just got the 4 stocks.
But he could be lying about
you're-
only having the 4 stocks.
24
I
versus
mean, you are
what did you say?
you're
21?
it's unclear.
So he beat me. So I believe that he like.
So
I understood that the way he said it, I would believe him, but at the same time, I believe a lot of the shit he says,
Right,
and it doesn't turn out to be true.
right.
this is pretty 50-50 in your mind.
Yeah.
Like I mean, he could very easily
He could have
it
it.
hidden somewhere.
Yeah.
I just want to know.
I've gotten backup from the rest of the party who's actually fought one, so it's not unlikely.
I want
Right.
to know what it does.
Alright, part of the
What did
reason
you
why
say?
I took the jobs that I did,
The first.
the sort of
what was the first name?
the secondary reason you could
I
say,
have it written.
is to try and make this
Just let me know at some point.
this amulet that I've been working on for decades. Right now, it does an okay job. If I take a hit, sometimes I can shrug a little bit of it off, but it could be a lot better. So I am looking for. I've tried everything I can think of. I've tried all sorts of different spells and imbuing them into the gears with different gemstones and setting them into this piece. And so far, this is the best that I've been able. And so far, this is the best that I've been able to do. It's not detrimental. It doesn't always work, but I'm hoping that I can find something new in the Underdark that I have not tried before. And there are certain creatures down here that are difficult to find on the surface that have certain properties that would be nice to imbue into such a thing. For the spectator you spoke of, it has a way of sort of rebounding spells.
Oh, so that's what it's called, a spectator.
Yes. It's sort of like based on what you described it as.
Okay,
Four-
we didn't know
four
the
stocks.
name.
It made me attack Nero at one point, and it
Really?
floated. It was green, I think.
It sounds like it. They come in lots of colors.
Oh,
That's
confusing.
It is confusing.
As was one of
And-
the
and-
ice
and-
stocks.
I'm not sure how it was able to make you attack one another, but that was not my focus. I am looking for ways to protect people, and if I can make an amulet that is able to take a spell and return it to sender, would be very good for, say, a noble to bear.
Yeah, I'm sold, and I'm gonna take off the bag and start like looking at it. Like take like.
You're
a
really
solid,
excited?
like, 5 minutes. I don't know what happened to it. I apologize, but if we find another one, it is yours.
They are not common.
Well, okay. I think Nero had it last, technically.
Look at you.
I go, I don't even make eye contact with you. I just look at Jorvik and I go,
Didn't Zachuel have it?
Oh, he
All
might
right,
have.
all right. Did you guys ever take it?
I think so.
You think?
listen,
It's
I
a
have
bit
the four-
hazy. There was some yellow stuff around.
I have the 4 stocks. That's what I've got.
I'll keep looking.
Somebody else may have taken it. I don't know, but I don't have it.
All right. Just get my hopes up and crush them. That's okay.
That's
Well,
your
I mean,
make.
It
it
was
also
not my
like
intention.
the rest of it. What? I mean, what are you interested in
The rest of it?
of the spectator?
I justified I was interested in it. I wanted for my amulet to make it.
Yeah, but like what part of it?
The center eye.
The center eye. Oh,
Yes, that's for the beholder and for spectator. That is where a lot of their unique abilities come
well,
from.
let me abate some of your disappointment. That I was absolutely fucked to hell by Nihilist.
Oh yeah.
You are fine.
That fight ended with a javelin going through the eye and killing it. Through the center eye.
Yeah.
Well, you guys
so-
definitely don't have it.
Well, we had bits of it.
Well,
Like,
doesn't do
Do
me
you
much
need
good
it
with this.
intact?
Mostly, if it's in shreds intact, there's like
we can probably find another one.
I'm sure there are more, but I've been down here for over a month and I've not seen any of the creatures. That
Well,
I
I will begin looking for spectators. I'm
Great.
going to look for
I will,
spectators.
I will,
Spectate for spectators.
I will look for them too. Actually, you know,
That's a great-
this has just occurred to me.
Okay, good. That's a great plan. I'm
You
with
know, it only took us about 2 months to find a spectator, so give it another month.
Oh, I'm sure that's how it works. Yes.
Depends if we go back to
The math checks out.
if we have a repel. Sometimes they stop showing up for the.
So yeah, if you
I
see,
will come
Max
to
rep- You're good for like 1,000 steps.
Yeah.
so yeah,
Lizard
yeah.
steps.
I will cut you.
Just like the
You can
character
do it.
start taking really biceps wide.
I'd say you just start jumping.
Yeah,
Is that like long
standing
jump?
long jumps. Big steps. Everybody wins.
Is the topography changing at all? As we
It is, yes. So the first 3 days are basically you guys exiting the forested area that you were in. Eventually, though, the large mushrooms and foliage gives way to cold, dark stone. You travel, yeah, just stone. Just
Can I check
Stone.
what kind of stone this is? I'm really good at knowing what kind of rocks they are,
Is
or
it-
if
is
we'd
it
be
a
getting
stone?
any kind of
roll a nature check.
It's a
Wait,
social
a
stone?
oh, okay.
Is it darker stone than the stone we've seen before this?
Not
16.
necessarily.
Okay, so sure.
16.
What's your?
Well, I get +5 if it's a history check about rocks. But it's not a history check.
History check.
It's
Like,
not. No, but it's just a 16.
It's the metal all over again. No, I know a lot about it. It's metal. I know so much about
You're
it.
looks at this wall. Where has this wall been?
like it's stone.
If walls could talk,
Look, it's in my character. I don't know what to tell you.
It's
Specifically.
It's some variety of
There are places where
like
we use selection.
sedimentary rock,
It's not.
as is a lot of the Underdark.
It's specifically not like volcanic rock.
No, where you are currently does not appear to be volcanic rock.
We're fine.
You walk another 100 feet, it is pure obsidian.
I get really nervous as soon as he tells me that.
We're
As soon as
fine.
he
I just
looks
know- out
at
of
the
nowhere,
wall
yeah.
intently and he's like, "It's fine." I'm like, "We're gonna die." Like I'm ready for an adult black dragon to come out of the ceiling.
Good callback.
Oh, it does. Its name is Nightscale. And why did I erase its map? That's what that was.
I just lay down on the ground, curl up, and just prepare myself for death.
if I could be dying, what happened?
We're fine. The rocks are okay.
Oh my.
It's such a suspicious sentence.
So over the couple days following that,
So this is day 5 and
4
6.
and 5.
Okay.
Stone speaker, your man.
Go ahead and make a Vera. Make a perception check with advantage.
If there's one thing that I'm willing to do, is call you by whatever fake title you come up with.
I'm on board.
To complete strangers.
Much better. 20.
20.
Not accurate.
Holder of the chief
So
torch.
after exiting the forested, like larger caverns, the those large caverns give way to smaller caverns and more narrow tunnels again. And you and the party are traveling down one of these long tunnels for a pretty decent amount of time at this point. A couple hours that you've been sort of making your way through these. I mean, you can comfortably walk through them, but they're still
These
much more narrow.
capillaries.
Yeah, exactly. And you have passed a couple forks and branches, and you've taken turns, doubled back a little bit. They're not all going to be winners. It happens. But you reach an intersection in one of these sets of tunnels. And you notice as you're walking through this area that this intersectional area is a fair bit warmer than the rest of the tunnels that you've been in. Not like hot, but it's
The
like
temperature's right.
it's like yeah. So if you're indoors and then you're just like in the office, but then you go sit down in front of like the window and the sun's shining. It's that kind of like different
the
warmth.
heat is almost being radiated.
Mm-hmm.
Does it happen suddenly, or is it?
Somewhat suddenly, not like a total like snap of the
like a
fingers,
switch.
and it's yeah. But when you get into this intersection where there are 5, like the tunnel that you came from, and 4 other capillaries nearby this like relative intersection.
I activate my heat vision ability.
We sit down
There
and
we go.
Gandalf thinks for a while about which path it was.
I look at the rocks again.
I sort of just like look at the rocks a little bit. Note that there's no lava or magma anywhere. Jim Jar, does it get warmer? Is your home hotter than the generic Underdark temperature? It seems to be getting warmer.
I mean, not that I'm aware of.
I'm trying to.
It's usually pretty comfortable, I guess, but
It's usually a
Most
fairly
places
consistent
are.
temperature down here, and it's getting warmer. Do you have any way to sort of identify the source of the heat, or is it just the natural air?
I mean, you could roll an investigation check.
Better it does. Good.
Underdark travels.
23.
23. Give me a hot second to look something up.
One.
Just a warm second.
One.
That's fair. That I can respect that request. I will take a warm second. Let me find my
I was
page.
absolutely not prepared to shoot a campfire story today.
I have been meaning to prepare one for each of the 4 possibilities. I have not done that.
The one that I was like, I really don't have anything for was love. And so as soon as you said it, I was like, all right,
Well, this was the only
Here we
one.
go.
coming up with something.
This was the only one that I could have done because I was like, oh, thank goodness that I had thought about like this aspect of my backstory.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just wing it from here.
I'm trying to figure out
Which
how to bring that.
isn't not necessarily winging it when it's your own character.
Right.
So, wandering around a bit in the area and sort of trying to get a feel for the source of this like added heat, you discover that it sort of seems to be emanating from a few specific spots on like the tunnel wall, and upon this closer inspection, you find very lightly inscribed runes on the tunnel,
Okay.
or like singular glyphs. and that those seem to be the source of the heat. The rest of you at this point, assuming you haven't just left Vera behind, which I'm pretty sure you haven't,
No.
when she asks about the temperature and looks around for a bit, you also come to realize that come to notice this change in temperature, which is a occurrence that you've encountered at least once before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that. But
Drow
I
hags.
You
also
haven't.
Do not remember that.
You haven't.
These seem to be drow markings.
So we blow them up then, or
No.
Not really how it works.
why wouldn't it be?
Well, you see, you feel how they're warm.
Yeah,
If you blow them up, it just makes them stronger.
for like that doesn't seem likely.
If
no,
you,
the magic checks out.
I'm not sure which one she's agreeing with.
if you threw a fireball at
A firebolt.
At fire.
it does at
It's going to make it hotter.
what was his name? What was that big red dragon's name?
Thundershot.
Thundershot. I was like Thordak. No, it's not him. Thundershot. If you threw a fireball at Thundershot, do you think that would phase him?
So do you think this is fire then?
Yes.
Does anyone can anyone
Well,
read
it's
this?
certainly not ice.
It's not. It's. I disagree.
Someone should write a song about this.
What's the? Do I recognize the language?
The language is
Let's try to think of actual songs.
the language is. Let me make sure I'm not crazy before I don't lie to you and tell you that it's a different
What
language.
was your order called? Just the order?
The Order of Magists and Protectors. I call them Wump. The Watchful Order of Magists and Protectors.
Womp.
No one likes that I call them that.
Womp.
No one at Womp likes that I call them Womp.
Calls it womp.
Because it
Womp
sounds
womp.
bad.
What it do? What it do?
But just, it's such a mouthful.
That's true.
I have some experience with rebranding.
So the
Good
symbol
luck.
on it is a.
They have tried.
The symbol is it's a drow sigil, or at least several of them are drow sigils that say or that indicate demons ahead, for lack of a better ideal translation. So the tunnel that you came from does not have one of these markings on its side.
Should add one.
Then, of the 5 spokes of this intersection, they're not all like directly connecting with one another, but just very near the same like focus point, I guess. 3 of them have the demon warning inscribed there, and the 4th has a rune that you are unfamiliar with, but it is clearly also a drow sigil or symbol of some sort.
So there are 5 paths. Is one of them where we came from, or are there 5 other paths?
One is the one where you came from
Okay, so-
that does not have one of these
So
glyphs.
out of the 4 paths, 3 of them are to say, demons this way. One of them says something else we can't tell.
Probably.
Just he can't tell, or
Who
everybody
can
can't
read
read
these?
it.
So it's not. It's a more of a symbol than a specific
Okay.
language. It's not like standard writing.
Okay,
It's
it's
not
like a glyph.
Elven or Undercommon, but it is this drow glyph.
Okay.
Any chance I would have seen it anywhere?
Any chance I would have seen it?
Any chance I would have seen it anywhere?
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Bryn's already known something today. I'm fine.
You can all roll
Oh, I was kidding. Luke.
intelligence checks.
Nat 20.
That's a 2.
That sounds right.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Woo! I failed.
Is it related to stone?
14.
No.
14.
It's on stone.
It's also
though.
not a history check.
No,
14.
Mm-mm.
6.
Bryn, no?
Okay.
Do it. Natural
20.
19. Is that just
19.
straight
Plus
19?
intelligence.
Natural linguistics.
He did.
Joke.
So you recognize the script to be, it looks kind of elven, but it's not like a character that you recognize to be elven. But it like sort of looks like it could fit in with the language. You suspect it might be a drow house sigil, but you don't recognize the actual meaning or translation or the house in question. Plus, at this point, I was going to say I feel like you guys might only know like a very small handful of
Right.
Yeah.
Like
houses of
a house.
drow at all.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it is, but it just based on the shape and the fact that I've never seen it before. It might be a house symbol.
So
for the drow.
kill the
Who
demons
works with the drow?
or kill the drow.
Who works with the drow?
Did you?
No, I didn't. Who works with the drow?
Well,
If I'm faced with the choice, I think the drow sound less.
no.
I don't know if that's convince you all to not go towards the demons.
Well, you're gonna have
I
to
mean,
fight.
the drow sound very exciting, all the same.
Who knows?
Well,
Crazy,
is it the-
crazy
We've killed
priestess
drow
could be
before, I
that.
guess.
Is it a
demons,
drow
too.
home,
So
or is
we-
it just a settlement? in
If we
general?
head towards the drow home, it's probably in our best interest if I look like a drow, and then
If only you
leading-
had
No.
a medallion.
and then I'd be leading a group of prisoners back with me.
Well, that's not going to happen.
That sounds like it's right in your wheelhouse.
It's an option. That's all I'm saying. I do thank you for the medallion that is not defaced. I appreciate your self-restraint in the matter.
Absolutely.
Nope, don't worry about it.
Global is just like, what? But
It's been like 4
I
days.
like how Globical is just Kevin's confusion, whatever it needs to come through
Yeah.
in game.
Don't worry about it. I know what I said.
I know what you said too.
I will activate the
My
hood.
trap card.
I certainly don't want to encounter any more demons if we can help it. Drow certainly aren't pleasant, but they
Aren't demons
don't destroy cities.
All but one demon has died, though.
Okay.
Except for the cities they destroy.
yeah. Okay.
So it's kind of all bad.
All right. I get. Well, fine.
I'm gonna change into the drow clerk from Moskalier Silks.
Ooh.
Okay.
After he does it, I have an idea. What if we take you hostage?
Nope. This
Yeah,
is the
we
wrong-
take
That's a
you
great
hostage.
idea.
That would never
I
be-
like that.
So, do you know how, like, the
Let's go-
Durgar
let's go
kill
roll
people
reversal.
sometimes?
It did work perfectly in Slooblet.
So here's the deal. I'm a male. Wait, hang on. How much do I know about Drow Society? Before I go real into that.
Wait. Can you just let him guess? And even if he's
No, I
like-
know I'm right about this one. This one I like.
Go. Continue.
So the Drow are kind of dominated by females. If you have a male coming back with you, they're probably not going to care enough to have any kind of bargaining and might just kill me before they even talk to you.
I'm willing to take that risk.
Nero,
What?
he's actually right about one.
Yeah. No. That sounds about right.
Hold
That's
on.
definitely sounds
Nero,
like a
Nero
drow.
takes
Okay.
Nero takes a minute, just warms up his hand. We're awake.
Bryn's just like, all right, buddy, let's go with your. Well, then be a girl then. If you're gonna be leading us.
Oh my God! You can be the girl that you murdered in the alley.
We know that they won't find her.
I mean, it worked once. Okay, sure.
Just don't smell like poop this time, please.
So I will change into the girl that we talked with, or that I had a conversation with once.
While he's doing
Her
that,
and I were friends. I don't know what happened with you guys.
While he's doing that, I get the some of the rope out of my bag, and I'm just like, "So we doing this?"
I look real guilty after you transform into the girl. I need I need a second.
So I could also
Yeah,
just
you
kind
are
of.
into some kinky
So
shit.
you see Yormik turn into this reasonably attractive drow female. Wearing
Don't
wearing
No, I have to speak.
like
Can we gag him? Her?
functional but
Very-
still like
Just
I'm
stuff.
trying to
Why
describe
shoot the hero?
the way the garments are, I guess. Sort of how what you did with Amahiko's sort of hybrid.
Oh.
So yeah, so it's like this sleek, attractive look, but also you're entirely confident that it's very functional in terms of the serving as light armor.
I mean, the disguise
With
itself is just
drastic.
glamour, right? It doesn't actually provide any armor.
Correct,
Yeah, okay.
but it's
Clothing.
the clothing that he saw her in.
Well, at least he didn't disguise himself as sort of naked. That would be...
Hey, who do you think I
Well,
am?
are we sure that we don't want to
Yormik
tie him up and gag him so that Yormik doesn't talk?
Wait, so are you? I'm the
I-
captured one.
I have that spell.
Yes.
So what happens?
Gag is not a spell.
So here's the deal. So what happens? So you give
I think.
me to them and then leave?
Kind
How
of.
does this work?
That sounds like
Let's just turn him over and go home, guys. We're
that
done.
sounds like a decent plan.
So how about we do the
All
Vera
this time to
special
just wind up
where I
back
go
in
invisible
prison.
and she helps me fly,
All of this traveling to wind up back in that same prison. We just
Oh
start
my
the
God, it's
campaign.
and then we see
Are
what's
you
ahead.
kidding?
Yormik, we don't even
We
know
just
if
start
it's
over as
only
level 6s
10
this
minutes
time.
away, and that's as long as you can fly.
So how about I just go invisible and see what's ahead, and then I'll be gone for like an hour, and then I'll come back to you guys, and we'll figure out what's going on. Because
I
if we
mean,
can just
he'll
kind
be
of walk,
gone for an hour.
I'm down. Go.
Before we go, can I just look at these...
No, we're
symbols?
gonna stay. He's gonna go. He said he wants to
Oh,
go.
alright, goodbye.
Yormik's gonna go for an hour.
But okay. let's-
Yormik will be gone for an hour.
But we have
But
to.
an hour.
We have to believe him when he gets back.
All right, that's fine.
He says angrily.
One
Fine,
hour.
I'll believe him. Whatever.
1 hour. At least.
I mean, do we think this is a good idea? We
Absolutely,
could also-
this is an amazing idea.
We could fight the
No,
demons
no,
instead.
this
These 4 days of abbreviated travel have been really rough on Nero.
This is an amazing idea. You should do this, Yormik. Only you can do this.
What
Okay,
is he
I
doing?
mean, I'm on board.
Scouting.
Jim Jar, do you know anything about this tunnel?
Alright.
Do you recognize the house? You were under Drow siege for like 10 years.
I wasn't there for it.
You were there for none of it?
Not the siege.
It's been
If
so-
I was there for the siege, I'd probably not be here right now.
Okay.
Is Benzo Beringstown anywhere near here?
I mean, we
between
met
Everett
you
Grove?
as a drow
and,
slave, so
Menzo Baronzon is further northeast than Blingdenstone.
Alright,
So
it's
to draw a line from where you are to Menzo Baronzon, Blingdenstone is close to just on that similar vector.
okay.
What do I
What's
know
your vector,
about the Drow's ability to see things that are invisible?
Roll an intelligence check. Wait.
That's a 3.
something heat signature something.
Well, no, you said invisible though.
Right. Well, that would...
You think that they might be able to see invisible creatures?
Yeah.
3. Wow.
So
Yeah.
I'll go as
Damn, son.
I'll go as the girl, and I'll walk ahead, I think, and then as soon as things start to go bad, I'll run this way.
So you're not going to be gone for an hour?
I mean, I could be.
All right.
Is that a good plan?
Probably not.
Is that what we're going with?
Before we go, I just want to take a quick look at these sigils one more time.
It's either that or we fight demons. I mean, here's the thing. Maybe they already killed the demons.
Yeah?
I suppose this is possible.
Then we could just go there and nobody has to be in danger. I'm just saying.
Alright, which one did they kill the demons down, Yormik?
Allow me to take a look.
So
Would
you're
you also like to look at the sigils? I'll start on this.
I want to see if either any of them look different than the others in the sense that they were fake, or if any of them look newer. than any of the others.
Roll an investigation check.
And you can do something else too.
I will assist, so you can have an advantage. If Kevin's good with that.
27? Natural 20.
All of the
Because of the advantage.
all of these runes look to have been inscribed in a similar time frame. None of them stand out to you as different, or as particularly. I mean, obviously they're different symbols, but there's nothing that stands out to you
Okay. Okay.
that seems like it would be a code or anything like that.
Yeah, I thought maybe somebody was like trying to prevent you from going a certain direction, so they copied the demon sigil in 2 other ways and something like that. But, okay. Yeah, these symbols seem legitimate. Assuming they were put here by a drow and that they mean what they say they mean. Whether or not the demons are still alive isn't something I think that these sigils can tell us.
So, do we want me to go look ahead and see if the drow even live up there, or if there's another path, or would you rather just face the demons first?
I'd rather not face anybody.
Well, that's...
But I think I would rather take my chances with drow than with demons.
Okay. Jimjar, would you like to come see if we can scout ahead a bit? You're pretty good at keeping out of view.
If you think it's a good idea, I'll go.
Well, I'm not used to people thinking what I'm doing is a good idea, so this is a little bit troublesome.
Worrisome, I think, is
Sure.
Jimjar also, in a blink of an eye, takes on the visage of a drow.
Whoa,
though
whoa,
a
whoa,
noticeably
whoa.
fairly short drow.
When did that happen?
just now.
Always been able to do this.
Since when?
Literally my whole life.
This is... Are you even actually a Smurf Neblin?
No, you caught me. I am 100% a 4.5 foot tall drow.
Well, I didn't think you were a drow. Whatever, come on. Let's see.
Let's appreciate your sass.
Let's see what's going on ahead here.
All right.
I think this is how, like, most elves talk, right, Nero?
Nero does not dignify your question with a response.
He was thinking about it.
And a disguised Yormik and Jimjar head down the
Just pretend
Drow.
like you have a cold or something.
head down the drow.
Hello,
That's
my
what he did
goodness.
last time. And we're gonna take a little break because I gotta go to the bathroom, and we'll come back with you guys scouting ahead.
Yay!
BRB.
Stealth sorcerer.
Whoop, that's the wrong one. All right, and we're back. Time to kill
Jim
you.
Jar's dex is.
So you have elected to send Jimjar and Yormik down the tunnel, disguised as drow ahead of you. Jimjar looks like any generic drow male. Yormik looks like a slightly shorter Zalith Mask Ilir, the female drow that you all murdered in Gracklestone.
I didn't. Not me.
You made us murder her twice.
Thank you.
Really, you're twice as bad as everybody
I didn't
else.
make you murder her either time.
I am
That was your
absolved.
own decision.
You made us murder her the second time.
Technically, Zatu murdered her.
Well, he got his comeuppance, didn't he?
His head broke open and he is dead now. So,
Mind blown.
you and Jimjar both need to make stealth checks, assuming you're moving stealthily and not just walking on this. I mean, you are disguised, so
Oh,
you don't
no.
have to do things
You're
stealthily.
so good.
You don't need to be
Everything.
stealthy here.
Big 8.
All right. Jimjar
Do I-
does his best to carry the team with a 15,
Any reason?
even with the Poifouet.
I was gonna say.
Um,
I heard multiple dice hit in that table over there.
This is Poifouet.
Yeah.
Okay, so the two of you make your way down this tunnel. How is there a point where you would walk far enough to be like, okay, we should just turn back and go get the other people, or
If there's ever a point where I have to make a decision between like turning left and right, if I have to do that a second time, I'm turning back. Where I have to like remember
okay,
directions.
is there a threshold of walking straight down this tunnel, sans any forks, where you would be like, we should just go back?
15 minutes.
Okay.
What does Jim Jar think about that?
What?
What? Nothing.
You don't want to know.
What?
You don't want to know.
Everything's fine.
What?
What if there's any spoons, Kevin?
Instead of
Are you happy?
These have forks
Instead
in
of
the
forks in the road, what if there's a spoon in the road? Is this what you want? You want us to do this?
You are now informed, Kevin.
We tried to protect you.
Guys, I'm alone here with a rogue and a bad stealth check.
Oh, you know, last time we set two people down alone, one of them, the short one, stabbed the taller one
That's fine.
and
I have
claimed a
s-
hook horror killed them.
I have an idea. But the knives. And the sporks.
I have them. Okay. Yeah, I will not go down 2 forks, and I will walk for 15 minutes.
Okay. You and Jimjar make your way
About the
down this tunnel for the full of that 15 minutes. You walk for it's a little over a half a mile, I would say, in that time. And as you think about turning back, the faintest hint of the end of this tunnel, or at least it opening up into a wider tunnel or cavernous area, catches your eye just at the edge of your vision.
I'm going to cast See Invisibility.
Okay. You cast See Invisibility, and the familiar aura fills your vision. You do not see anything within your current line of sight that you couldn't previously.
So that lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Sorry, it lasts for an hour. How far ahead is the end of the tunnel?
From where you are squinting with your vision, you're probably about 100 feet away before this tunnel opens up.
I'm going to take a look.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Oh gosh. 6.
6.
Can Jim Jar aid me in looking at things? Or do his own perception?
Whichever one's better.
That's fair. So Jim Jar recognizes the faint sound before you realize what it is. You've been hearing nothing but each of your relatively quiet footsteps for a little while now, and that strange like sound that fills your ears when there is no sound, almost like that weird humming, your brain trying to interpret the nothing as its own sound, sort of made you miss the emergence of this actual sound until you get much closer to the opening of the tunnel. And it sounds just like faintly running water. As you approach the end of this tunnel, or where the tunnel opens up rather, you see out in front of you a stone bridge that extends across a chasm about it's about 50 feet or so across this stone bridge. You can't see water below you, but you recognize the sound, and Jim Jar also recognizes the sound that it is running water below you that's making the noise. Across this chasm, across this bridge that crosses the chasm, you see the bridge sort of continue into a small landing that ends in front of two stone doors with a spider shape engraved on their surface.
So it's just basically a sheer wall with a door.
I mean, so your tunnel
Yep.
comes out, ends, bridge across this chasm.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, there's like an area sort of past the chasm, maybe like 10 to 15 feet deep, and then that little area ends with two doors
Okay.
with a large spider that is etched into the stone across both of them.
No one on the door.
You do not see anyone from your vantage point here.
Can I take a closer look at the bridge?
Sure. As you move forward to it, I mean, what do you want? I guess looking for specifically.
Does it look like safe?
So make an investigation check. We'll say with advantage because you're a dwarf.
Wow, you're so.
Here we
nice.
go. Stonework.
Ooh.
Average.
That's 16.
16.
It's a stone bridge, right?
Yeah. So it is constructed from stone. And while it's a little uneven and a little, I mean, it's clearly seen years of use. So there's some erosion at some of the edges. It's not like perfectly pristine straight across on the edges anymore. But you sort of look over the edges and at the stone beneath, and it seems like the structure supporting the bridge looks like it's relatively intact.
Okay. Jim Jar, what do you think?
I mean, I'm assuming if they're a drow, they're probably through there. He's whispering as quietly as he can manage.
Yeah. Do you think that leads to anywhere else, or would we hit a dead end for the most part?
I mean, I think that's a door.
Well, yes, but like, is it a house, or do you think there's more tunnel behind it?
I mean, it's tough to say from here. I'm not
That's-
sure.
Okay. Are there any other like pedestals or anything I can see outside the doors of note that would give me any idea as to like who this belongs to?
I mean, so the spider symbol all across the doors is a very similar style to like the medallion that you have in your possession.
Okay.
There's not really anything else of note. A few small stones on the ground, but nothing that really stands out to you.
Okay.
What'd you say?
It's Wolf's house. It's where she lives.
Oh, yeah.
Knock, knock. Who's here? Who lives here?
There's a sign
It's
above the
me,
door that
Wolf,
says the Spider Queen's
chilling.
lair.
I don't see any like webs below
Welcome
the
to the
bridge.
jungle.
Hello.
It gets worse here every day.
Hello. The gates.
You do not see any spider webs.
Okay. Where does the river look like it's coming from?
So you can't actually see the river from where you are. You just hear the moving water.
It's a very vague joke.
And what?
I'm sorry.
All right, whatever. So the chasm is, I mean, it's on either side of the bridge,
Yeah.
basically running under where you are. Make a perception check.
5.
5. You can't tell from here which way the water's moving. Just that it is.
Okay.
Just around the riverbend.
Jim Jar, what's the worst thing?
Though, so what the one
Yeah.
thing you do notice though is that basically the chasm in both directions seems to
Words.
curve like forward in front of you
Towards
both
the door.
not toward, no, so like it's like the bridge and it are like perpendicular to
Sure.
the water passing underneath you.
Okay. Okay. Jim Jar, what's the worst thing that happens if we go and like knock on the door?
I mean, I guess the worst thing would be like Lolth answering.
It's like the best thing that could happen.
We're just gonna have to agree to disagree on that one, buddy.
No, I said what would be like the best thing that could happen?
Oh, what would be the best thing? I guess we knock on the door, it's unlocked, and casually opens from our knocking, and nobody's home. And there is more tunnel on the other side that leads us straight to Blingdenstone.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
that's pretty much magical Christmas land, if you ask me.
That sounds pretty great.
That's my next question.
I'm
not there. I know.
This is
If you're gonna be
just
out
not a
before,
great
Just know what Christmas is. You know?
situation to be in. I'm not sure if it's better if we go and try to get in or if we get the group and try to go in together. I think we should probably head back.
Well, you've definitely had worse ideas.
Yeah,
Lead the way.
true. All right, we will head back.
Okay.
And on the way back, I want to look for like any sign of traffic. I know this is rock, but like
Sure. Make a survival check.
that is 15.
Stone, nothing that you can tell.
It's okay.
You got it? Not even his own tracks?
No, I mean it's just solid
I know, I'm
rock.
just
Yeah.
curious if he can see his own traffic.
No, that's fair. Okay. Well, this is disappointing. Kind of. We didn't die. Yeah, we walked back.
That was
I'm so disappointed. We are alive.
Check your
Are
pulse.
you,
Thank you.
are you invisible?
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm a drow person.
No, but about a half hour after your buddies
So he's
leave,
probably dead, right? We should go
you
look for
are
him?
approached by 2 drow
Oh no. Okay. Wait, is that-
from the direction that they left
Okay.
from.
That's okay.
One of the drow is a male who's about 4.5 feet tall.
I got 11 on initiative.
You don't even have Yormik here to throw a fireball.
To be
Right.
fair, it would be a super pro strat. It's like 2 drow, some going down, and we're like, it's a shame if we disguised ourselves exactly like those drow and
Pretty
came
good.
back to that party. It was just like, hey, what's up, stab you?
So here's the deal. There's a door.
I do wish that the opportunity was such that I could have done that, because that would have been fucking great.
Yeah.
They come back a different tunnel, but they look like the other two.
Even if it was, it's better with the same tunnel.
Bulgara, Barolgura, whatever they're called.
So there's a door at the end. It's got a spider on the front, and there's a chasm. It's like 50 feet across, but there's a bridge that's totally fine. I'm positive about. We could go through the door, probably, or we could go down another tunnel and like go through the tunnel and see what else there is.
Was the door open?
I'm not sure.
Was it like a wooden door?
No, it was stone.
Hmm.
We could blow it open, probably.
So go into a door that we don't know what's behind it,
Or we could go
with
to the
a race
demons.
that we know likes to enslave people.
It sounds like we're
Hey,
trying to
don't
figure out
use
if we
that.
should break into
Enslaving
into their
people
house.
doesn't make a race bad. It's just something we do. Just saying.
We being a different
It is
race
pretty
than-
par for the course.
So, I mean, we can fight demons, which we've done before, and only one has ever gotten away or beaten us.
You've never been.
Gotten away.
Technically correct.
So,
That's what makes it so good.
Gotten away. Oh, it kills me so much.
Oh my god.
so we could do what we always do.
That's how you do, Jordan. I
Yeah,
just don't
that was-
understand.
Never-ending funny fountain.
Or we could walk into the Drow lair and kill a family of Drow. Probably. I don't know.
Most likely, something like that will happen if we go through that door.
Yeah, so those are the options.
You
I did my part. I figured them out.
Do you want to kill Drow in their homes, or do we want to kill demons?
The Drow will probably have some expensive things we can take if we kill them. Just another option, like probably really rare magic things if you like wanted to fix your
Which
little...
they'll also probably be wielding.
Well, it sounds broken, but
we
I get the sentiment.
Yeah, we have magic things too, and we could probably kill them.
Or it doesn't matter to me. It's, at this point, everything's going to end up being fodder for my blade.
Fuck it, let's just kill everyone. That is literally what he just said.
Yes,
I would
it
guess-
is. Has there ever been a time in the Underdark yet that has not had to be the solution?
Look,
Some people in Gracklesduke.
Yeah, a few people in Gracklesduke
There's
who
just
were
a couple.
almost necessary
So here's the thing.
to be fodder.
I have a feeling, it's not backed up by anything actual, but I have a feeling, and that usually is correct, that not all of these hallways have alive. Like, it just doesn't seem like they'd all still be alive. Like, why?
Like, there's not
why
just-
why set up camp in the middle of 4 demon lairs? That seems like a bad decision.
Maybe they left.
That's a
You
terrible
haven't- You didn't
neighborhood.
see anyone, right?
No.
Maybe they all left because there's demons all around them.
So the house is probably empty then.
Well, also, these
It might be.
The Demogorgon has not been in this plane for very long. If these demons are related, then
They probably went to be with him.
they probably built this well before demons were here.
Ooh, okay, this is... We could go and see how far... my accent for Drow is, like, different. Like, I can sell this,
We
I
can-
think. I sold it once, it was really good.
But
We
you're
can-
not going to even go ahead.
We could try to. We could approach the drow layer and set up something outside to maybe draw people out. I could use some kind of illusion to. If we know that there's a bunch of demons nearby, I could make an illusory demon.
We could also wait here and see if anybody comes by. And then kill them or take them hostage.
That sounds boring. We could go to the drow layer and I could make an illusory demon.
I mean, that's also an
I think
option.
we should do that one.
Okay, sure.
Mostly because it wasn't suggested by Yormik.
Well,
But also because it sounds like a good idea.
that's...
But the
I'll
Yormik...
take the win where I can get it.
What, Vera? Your input has been sparse. What should we do?
Well, I don't like the idea of fighting demons or drow, but the drow. Closer to demons brings us closer to. Well, we don't know how many demons and demons
You know how many
range.
drow.
Well, we don't, but generally,
They could have
demons.
spiders.
The average. I feel like the average demon is more powerful than the average drow. Maybe.
It sounds like we're leaning towards the drought.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Sure.
go.
Okay. So what's our who are we? What's the plan? Because I'm a drow right now. So how am I with you?
It doesn't matter.
It definitely does.
We're better off drawing somebody out with Bryn's plan and using somebody who actually knows, getting information from somebody who's actually been in there than...
Yeah. No, I see it now. Yeah, I get it. Okay. Yep. On board. Yeah. It clicked.
We can also sort of do the detect magic thing again around the bridge door area in case if there's any funny business going on.
Sure.
That sounds good to me.
All right. So into the tunnel. Yes.
I just realized Caleb calls it funny business too. He also speaks in a German accent. Don't sue me, Liam.
Alright.
It's coming after you.
Let's
Yes,
keep
has,
going.
he
Right
has
now.
the
Onward.
phrase "funny business" in a German accent copywritten.
He does.
does.
I've seen the
Legit.
paper.
Yeah.
At least in Faerun or Exandria.
Right, different universe.
All
So,
right.
dibs. Beer has it in
Uh,
this universe.
So
Okay.
you guys also walk down this tunnel
Accurate.
stealthily
Yeah.
or not stealthily.
Sure, we'll try and
Yeah.
be quiet.
Cool. Yeah, Nero, roll that stealth check, buddy.
Disadvantage.
Hey, I got a 3 again.
Ooh,
So that's an 8 for Yormik.
8 for Bryn.
Oh snap! I kicked butt.
Nero's the stealthy one today.
Stealth check, huh? 17.
Wow, 16 for me.
Jim Jar got that 20.
Attaboy.
Elith
JJ.
got like a 12.
I rolled a 17 and a 16.
Yay!
So
Okay.
I got a 17 because I'm a +1.
Bryn and Yormik are
Okay.
apparently talking. We're chatting. 8,
I'm practicing my drow accent. Also an 8.
which is not
Vera,
terrible.
what'd you get?
All right.
16.
We're
16.
above
Okay.
5.
All right.
We're not just shouting.
Yeah.
Right.
Put a single respect on it.
Okay. So, muttering under your
You still have
breath,
disadvantage.
trying to work on your
Still-
female
still
drow
considered heavy
accent
armor.
as you guys head through the tunnel.
Unfortunate.
You doing that actually makes it seem like Nero's not really making much noise on this particular venture.
Man, way to
Jim
way to
Jar
take
at the
away
moment
my
leading the
success.
way, quiet as a house cat. After about 15 minutes, you guys approach the bridge that Yormik had described earlier. I'd say you're about 50 feet away from it or so when it's in all of your lines of vision.
If anything's
What's the
invisible,
plan?
I think I can still see invisibility.
No,
for
it's past 10 minutes.
it's an hour.
Can you detect magic?
Oh, I thought you said it was only for
I
10
did,
minutes.
and then I looked,
Oh, okay.
and it was an hour.
Well then, if it was 10 minutes, it would be up. But
Yes.
because it's an hour, it is not.
Yes, true.
I have a cat, so I'm gonna whisper. I cast the magic, but the door is further away than I range on the spell.
I would still cast it in case the bridge, in case there's any
Sure,
enchantments over
yes,
the bridge.
I do want to do this too. It's just I kind of want to check the door as well.
It's fine.
But
I could check the door.
One thing at a time.
take magic. But, without going across the bridge.
I'd have to go across the bridge.
I'll cast take magic.
I mean, I could get across.
So I mean, it lasts a while. It lasts for a concentration of 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
A cone, so I can.
You good?
Is there a cone?
I don't know that it's a cone.
It was in Pathfinder, so I didn't.
It's
an
just
aura
like
outside you.
your vision within
Yeah.
that range.
It's an aura.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll cast take magic. Fairly close to the bridge, just to sort of see.
If he's doing it, I'm just gonna do it too,
Okay.
because I can.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to wait for him to cast it anyways.
I'm gonna cast it without using the ritual.
Oh, then I'm not gonna do it if he's casting it without
I
ritual
don't want to stand
casting.
there for 10 minutes doing nothing.
Yeah, that's what I was concerned about. Never mind. I will not cast it.
Christmas lot. Oh shit! I wrote the mystery. No, it's dry.
Okay. Yeah. So Vera, you cast detect magic, and another an aura similarly lights up in your eyes. From where you're standing, you don't see any magic in the direction of the bridge, and presuming you move closer to it, so it's actually in range.
Did you ask Mormrek if it's safe to go on the bridge at
The
all?
bridge seems fine.
Oh,
Well
it's-
constructed.
Look over. Oh,
Pre
it should
cataclysm.
be okay. So, hopefully there's nothing else that happens, and look out for boulders.
You don't see a ceiling to this.
Okay, well, that's means something was
Cavern.
like a boulder wasn't like attached to the wall, ready to fall.
It's just creaking over the edge. He just didn't
There's
look
one-
up. It was just
there's
waiting
one
for you to look, and
piano
then
up there.
that triggers
Maybe
it.
it was a trap. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right, so I'll go get close enough to see the door and come back.
I can come with
Are
you.
there any
That way
windows
if we
on
get
the
caught,
structure?
It's fine.
So it's not really
I
a structure
think-
from
what if you did
where you
say
can
we're
see
still safe?
currently. It's
Okay.
like
As easily.
more like I
Can I
guess
make one of
cave
us fly?
wall.
That's fair.
Okay.
You're assuming there's
so
something
it's
behind the
so
doors.
it's just like cave wall with a set of doors. So
Pretty
they wouldn't
much.
be able to see anything out here. That like we don't think they could see anything out here.
It's not easily apparent. We don't see any
yeah.
windows.
There's no like windows or like arrow slits or anything that we notice.
Make a perception check.
Casing the place.
We're so good today.
Really good at these. 9.
9.
Nine. There are no
nothing.
windows.
Nothing that stands out.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna slowly creep my way across the bridge, trying to just barely get in range,
Yeah.
30 feet of the door.
I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think.
Yeah. So you approach the bridge.
We could try.
The
to-
bridge itself doesn't light up as you cross it. There's
throw
no
a fireball
no
at
magic visible there.
And it's
You-
also not obvious I'm gonna try to step on anything that looks like a trap.
I'm thinking maybe make one of the noises that the
You,
rock makes.
as you get up to, roll an investigation check
I'm pretty
if
good
you
at
are
those.
trying
Get
to look at
big.
traps. Ba-ting!
9.
Oh.
Uh,
The ding of
nothing catches your eye.
Oh,
That seems like it would be a trap.
Stupid child.
However, when the pair of doors get within the vision of your detect magic, you notice that there is an aura around the doors themselves.
Okay. I'll just turn around and go, it's not.
Oh, so we're good.
I begin to walk towards the bridge.
Same.
Yes, we're good. I don't know how to say no in hands.
Just like nod, like yeah, let's go.
No, I'll come back to them. I'll slowly like walk back, try and sneak back. to them.
I'm guessing once we start moving forward and you're like
Yeah.
we're like
There's
oh,
something-
okay, cool.
There's something magical on the door.
Oh,
The
okay.
door is magical, or something on the door is magical.
The door itself is radiating a magical aura.
What kind?
So
I was able to tell.
Yeah, pull this. But I think you can tell the school if you focus on it for a bit.
I would like to focus on it before I attack. Before I even like turn back to the party.
Right.
That sounds like a thing.
I think it's also
To
something.
see auras and determine school.
Yeah, so you very quickly recognize this aura as an aura of abjuration magic.
How do I? Okay, so I'll come back. First of all, it's my school for one thing. That's good. How do I? There's an aura on the door. It's magical. It's an abjuration aura, so it's some sort of protective ward. There's a few things I think it could be. None of them are good for us. Anything from something that will trigger some sort of trap to some things that might make it virtually impossible to pick or open otherwise.
We could throw a rock at it and see what
We
happens.
could do that, but that would do virtually nothing.
We could press that
Amulet?
amulet with the sigil
We
of.
could try this.
Did you try to open the door?
I did not touch it because for fear of what the.
what if
I
what
could
if I try? One idea I had was making the noise that the rock made. See if anyone comes out, and if we can get to them while the door is still open, then the door is open.
the rock.
Those
They're
beasts
demon
we
birds.
fought
The squawking
together.
bird demons.
I see. Could do this. I sort of like the idea. Well, that's a bad idea. Other options are to do what you are saying with the medallion. And I do see the spider emblem on it. If it is a arcane lock sort of spell, usually these spells are. You have a passphrase or some sort of special thing you have to do to make the door open for you. could be something as simple as this, as the amulet for all we know. Don't think our chances are all that high, but it is.
Is there a
possible.
chance that the amulet triggers the lock?
I mean, the lock is always in place unless someone says the password or they are allowed through.
Theo, come here.
When the
Theo,
spell is
come here.
cast. There are lots of. I have this spell. That's something I can do.
Come. Theo.
You can unlock it.
I can unlock it. So, if
Can
it's
you cast it backwards?
no, there is a spell that does this, but I do not have it.
Okay.
However, I do have the ability to dispel magic,
Oh, okay. Yes, that's.
and I also have the ability to identify what it is, but I do not have. I did not think we would need that today, so it will take some time.
We could protect you for that long. If something happens, just run away.
That's my go-to plan.
So,
Yes.
also possessing that spell, identify.
Oh, identify can tell what spells on something.
So it can.
Identify magical items.
Yes. So it's theoretically possible that. So there are certain spells that if you went up and touched the door and then tried to ritual cast identify, there are certain things that touching that door, it could potentially trigger other things. But if it's not a trigger in the sense that, like, cool, well, this is like rigged with a ward that when someone touches it, a giant explosion happens, then you can cast identify
Yeah.
while touching the door, and it would tell you, you learn any spells that are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which created it. Yeah. So you could identify what is on the door, but you would have to come in contact with it.
Do it.
Test identify.
Dispel it or identify it.
Identify.
If we do identify it, aren't we just probably going to dispel it anyway?
I mean,
Probably.
potentially, but if we can get through it and learn how it operates, and then we take this as our own base, then we have a spell that's magic, and people can.
Let's just
Alright.
dispel it.
How about
There's another spell
how about this? Why don't
What
we
if? What
why
if?
don't we try the medallion first, and then if that doesn't work, dispel it.
Do these look like the doors on the tower of the secret sector or whatever the Darrow?
The fake doors, the doors that weren't
Yes.
doors.
Do these look like fake real doors?
Real fake doors.
Make an investigation check.
With advantage because I've already seen real fake doors.
No.
Okay. 7.
They don't appear fake from 10 feet away or wherever you're standing.
Yeah, as close as I would need to get to make that check. Sure. Yeah, we can dispel it.
Alright.
It might turn it into a wall, but who knows?
Do I see any lock, like keyholes or door handles or anything on the door?
You do not on this side.
Okay.
Just the stone doors and the spider.
I do think we should try the medallion first.
We can try the medallion.
I will
I like
try the medallion.
I like the rock idea, but I worry that it will just give us away. It might give us away. That's
I could
all.
just look up. Do I feel the medallion getting like warm as I approach the door?
Make a perception check.
That's a 4.
My gosh,
This
roll
is
a different D20.
Terrible.
dude.
I've switched 3 times. Somebody give me another dice.
Stop switching.
This is awful. I rolled a 4.
You briefly think that you dropped it. You don't even feel it in your hand. You're like, oh wait, no,
Dang.
it's still there.
Okay.
And no, you don't feel it getting warm at all.
So he goes to do this, like back away from him.
Okay.
The fear of this boring.
Same.
I like.
I will
Yeah, I would
steel
stay in front of the
myself
group.
against whatever is going to happen,
Okay.
and I will approach the door, and I will tap the medallion against the stone.
You take the spider medallion, put it up against the door, and nothing happens.
Okay. The alarm just went off.
Does the door feel warm?
It feels like a stone door.
Okay. Sometimes stone is warm. Maybe.
Occasionally.
Occasionally.
Do I see him touch it?
I
I
mean,
would've
you
touched
would
it
see him
to-
touch it with the medallion,
Well, I
and
know,
there would
but-
be like the slightest little like clink stone
And
on
he has,
metal.
if it's warm, so I'm assuming he touched it with his hand.
Yeah.
I mean, It's like when you put your hand near a open flame or something.
Okay.
Didn't necessarily assume that he made skin contact with it.
Are you making skin contact?
If it doesn't
with
feel warm at all, then probably not.
Okay.
No.
It's also possible that this door is
Point.
me. Yeah, me. Okay.
I come up with you.
And
Would you still been in range with your detect magic spell?
technically
While he did
yes. So planning on moving 25 feet away.
So like in the middle of the bridge.
You know why? Just potential fireball range.
No. I was like, that sounds like the just outside the radius of a fireball.
Yep. Okay. So you would like watching the magical aura as he did this. It doesn't
Doesn't change.
change. It doesn't really react
anyway.
to anything he does.
All right. I'll just try and get through the bit, I suppose.
Sure.
It could be also like some sort of alarm spell that gives it away on presence. So.
Could it be anyway the mechanism for the door opening?
Bro.
For all we know, it is the way to preserve the stone, and the door would open if we just pushed it.
Are we sure we don't know the name of this house? What are some house names that we know? You said it might be something verbal. Perhaps you have to speak the house name.
Maybe it's like praise Loth. Yes, he's here.
Yeah.
Perhaps. What
Well,
houses
just
do we
pull
know?
that in.
I'm gonna
What's
say.
the drow word for friend?
I'm gonna say Moskalir out loud,
Okay.
like next to the door.
Okay.
Nothing.
It is.
What other? Who else did you piss off?
Are you working on dispelling it?
I can cast it immediately.
Oh.
It is not a ritual.
Oh, gotcha. Let's just spell it.
Just dispel it.
Alright, I'll cast Dispel Magic. Fiddle spell.
Okay. Presumably targeting the door.
Yes. No.
Which door?
I'm gonna text
You'll
Yessie because I'm
dispute.
hoping she's not assuming that I'm just ready to go.
This is already better. I just rolled a 12. 3.
Never mind.
Sorry, I cursed
Never
it.
mind.
4. 3.
Ooh.
3.
There you go.
16.
Here.
There you go. Avoid the.
Yes, he says it's -3 outside right now. Okay. So you cast Dispel Magic, targeting the door,
the smell magic.
and you watch as the magical aura from around it dissipates.
I'll just roll.
It wasn't a very good spell.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello. Hey.
Although my minimum
Get
is 14.
stiff-armed, Theo.
15. Okay, well, it is, it's gone. The magic aura is gone.
I'm gonna touch.
I put a hand on the door
Theo.
and try and push.
Sorry.
I put a hand on the door and try and push.
She's been very bored. She's very excited
It's
that
okay.
anyone else is here.
Okay. She just needs to remember 4 and 4.
Yeah.
You push on the door, and it opens up. Inside the door, you find yourself in a large vestibule. There are, I don't know, it's about 20 feet in front of you, another pair of doors. These are wooden and actually have handles, I guess, for lack of a better descriptor. And there are some statues in some small, that's what I'm looking for, recesses in the stone on either side. So like you're in like a 20-foot or so long hall, and then on either side there's a pair of statues in recesses in the wall, and then the additional pair of doors in front of you.
I turn and look over.
I'm looking
Vera.
for magic again.
Yeah, I was like, Vera. And signal for her to come in.
If you enter the room, you do not see any additional magical auras in this room.
I don't know if it's metagame here or not. I am specifically on the lookout for bones for my thing. Would I know if golems radiate or magic auras?
Golems?
Well, so
Golems are
not all
grounds.
constructs are like necessarily.
Golems.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'm confused. Okay, but looks clear.
So
I can't see that door.
Before we're like talking, I'm gonna like pull her out, like walk out of that hallway, instead of being in there. Just stand back outside the original doors.
Yeah, I don't see anything else magical in there. I wish I had prepared my own arcane lock spell today, because I could then put a new spell on this door that will let us through. It would be quite handy if we need to escape.
It's alright. You can just put like a rock under this door. Like a
It's
gem.
almost as good, yes.
Yeah.
So
It's basically the same thing.
Arcane rock.
what do we want?
It's a cantrip.
Should we? I could go see
Requires
if
a
the door
rock
is
as a
locked.
component.
That's what I'm wondering. What do we want to do about these wooden doors?
It
Let's
just
see if
makes
they're
it
locked.
glow
Do we
with
want
magic
to
energy.
knock or just
It just makes it
Try
magical.
and
It doesn't
break
do
in.
anything. Just makes it magical.
Wait, the wooden doors.
the wooden doors at the end of the?
There was some.
Yeah, there's another pair of doors like 20 feet in front of you.
But they're wooden?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Your mixed
I
one
still have-
weakness.
I
Wooden
still
door.
have my
Anything that's
detect
not
magic
stone.
still going.
True. I'm
To get
lost.
some range and there's no magic. we
Where did
can
this come from?
Have Yormik try to open it.
All right.
Yeah, so it seems like there's basically these doors. They sort of had to construct a frame in this slightly bigger like stone archway.
She should be okay.
Okay.
She went out. Like an hour ago, maybe.
All right.
I will go see if the doors are locked.
And I'll follow him and stop him if the doors radiate magic.
And I'll stay close with them.
So there's just two doors in front of us, and the suits of armor, like
Statues.
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 Just drow statues.
None of them look. Do any of them look familiar to me?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, makes sense.
Also, my tech magic will last 10 minutes, so let me know when that's running out.
Okay. Yeah, you're still good for at least the immediate short term. Yeah. So Yormik, you go up to this pair of doors.
Sure.
And turn the latch on it, or pull the latch on it, and it gives as if it's unlocked.
Can I
Open the door.
see if this looks trapped in any way from the outside? Is that not a thing I can do?
Make an investigation check.
Man, he already turned the handle. So
Right. Like,
Wait, no, it's fine.
we
And
just,
then he,
like, we did this.
doesn't
and
matter.
we're like, wait, it might be trapped.
5.
Let's go.
there's a bucket of water like down on the top.
With that,
That's amazing.
With the 5, I am gonna look back at Nero and be like, "I'm going in,"
Seems fine.
and
Seems 5.
Are you still disguised?
yeah, I will push the door open.
Okay.
If
or
it's a
pull.
push, if it's a pull, I will try to push it and then I will pull it open.
fucking Norman doors.
Yeah, it's not labeled.
No, so. Well, no, I had to think about it for a second. Like, wait, which way would this door actually
It
go?
would make me so mad if the doors that we just pushed open were push, and then it
Then
was
these ones are
pulled.
pulled.
I would be like, who designed this?
Norman did.
Yeah.
All the doors open into this room.
I will open the door.
This room's the central room. Everything's this way.
This door actually is a pull door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
So you like pull the latch down, examine it, and you're like, it's probably not trapped, and you push, and it doesn't give.
Strong
And then you open the-
investigation check.
You pull the
So,
door and
it was
open
like-
it.
Commanding as confident of a posture as possible.
Okay.
I'm going to pull the door open.
Okay. So the door opens. Make a performance check.
Yep. Natural 20.
I'm so glad I gave you a
Plus
different
This is
idea.
my house. It's great.
You whip open this door with absolute authority. Like you're walking into your own home.
Where's my party?
I own a shed and a house.
You throw open this door, and immediately you see a half a dozen drow standing in front of you,
Okay.
armed with swords drawn,
Yep.
and a few of them with shields out as well.
Are anyone
They-
invisible?
Looked No.
Okay. Just making sure. I want to be prepared.
They were clearly ready for someone who doesn't belong here to throw open this door, and then a female drow throw open this door. So where they were seemingly going to be ready to just kill whatever came through, there's a moment of pause and confusion as they see you, and then they also see the other individuals behind you, and are just kind of like stunned for a moment.
We heard you were in need of some help. In my best accent.
I was like, hello.
Hello. They missed the vocal cords.
I'm on my way to deliver another group of captures.
Roll another performance check at disadvantage specifically for the voice.
Dang it!
Oh, Jordan.
Performance?
Oh, Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Still okay.
Cool.
That's a 13.
13. All right. What do you say?
Oh.
I was on my way back to Velkenvel and noticed the corridors that were marked with demons. I have not taken this path before and saw a place where I might find refuge as I take this party back to their final home.
What language do you speak this in?
Undercommon.
What are you saying? I just smile and wave.
I heard like demons, tunnel, home.
I have my,
Drow,
Right.
safety, like.
I've got my armor on, so at least my face isn't there.
One of the drows holding a shield responds to you in Undercommon and says, my lady, you are far from Velkenvelv.
Are any of them women?
No, these are all male drow.
I will not have you questioning my path. Now, if you would please set your weapons down.
I was really hoping this was the...
sorry. It's just, you know, not exactly what I thought was going to
Yeah,
happen
no,
here.
that's fine. Me either. So we're
So you also
think
notice
that he
though
was just gonna
that
say fireball.
all of these drow warriors have averted their gaze from you, and they're looking at like the ground in front of your feet now. After their just initial shock and awe. Forgive me, mistress, but who are you?
I am of House Moskelier. The rest is not of your concern. My travels have been long, and I would like to know exactly how far off path I have gotten.
I'm just kind of like...
You're like
So good.
hang on, sorry, just doing a
Nope.
teeny bit of math.
No, that's fine.
They definitely had these calculations about how far you away are off. We're ready. They were new, this would be asked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to move, if I can, out of the door frame, so I'm not like in arrow shooting distance of range.
You're like roughly, just from like the roughest distance calculations
Yeah,
that I can
that's
do,
fine.
like 240 miles away from Velkenveld.
Okay, cool. You know, that's fine.
It's a fucking Underdark.
Yeah, I'm really good at my job, okay? This is fine.
Donna has not great survival, okay?
But she's alive.
I mean, she's a drow woman. Of course she is.
I was not aware that House Masculier had a presence in this part of the Underdark. How is it that you came to be so far from your intended destination?
Well, as you know, the Underdark has many tunnels and, well, few maps. Few wrong turns and a few attacks, as have fallen. Even places such as Menzoberranzan have left me with traveling some more difficult directions.
And roll a deception check first.
I was waiting for that.
That is a 13.
13.
Why didn't you roll a green one?
I don't know. That was just a poor decision.
So they believe you're a drow, but they believe you're lying.
Right.
It just pauses again, and looks up, but very pointedly not at you, definitely looking past you, and says, "And what of the traveling companions you were with?"
Never insinuate that these would be my companions again, or I will have you killed.
Nice.
Roll an intimidation check.
That's a
Can this be
great
charisma
response.
based?
It is charisma based.
Oh,
Yeah.
natural 20.
Oh, these are some
This guy
stellar
just
rolls.
beat himself.
I love when this shit happens.
I mean, this is like Yormik's wheelhouse right
Yeah.
here.
He's just like, I will talk out of my ass as a different person.
No one
really
can
is
give the
a
BS
lie.
his authority in front of a group of people he has no idea about. Absolutely.
It's fine.
It's been a lie.
This situation was made for this character.
Forgive me again, mistress. I simply do not understand how it is you came to be here and with these other creatures.
I would expect nothing less of the men of this house. What?
Roll another deception check.
Sure. 24.
Honest to God, 17 right there.
We were expecting or hoping for the return of our of the Lady Zanaya, but we were not expecting yourself.
And I was not expecting to be here and honestly should be on my way. What is the safest path forward through the 3 tunnels marked as demons ahead?
The forward to the you refer to the optimal route to get you to Velkenvelv.
Through the tunnels. There are several stops I need to make along the way.
Forgive me, my lady. I need to know where you wish to go in order to give you optimal directions. We here at the damn it, I'm just blanking on names left and right tonight. We here at the Narveen outpost. There are several exits alone from our encampment here.
I came from the tunnel, the only other marked, or unmarked, rather. This one seemed the safest. It appears there's no other way forward, and it is filled with incompetence. Now, the other 3 tunnels, which one is the safest? I will continue my path along that way and find my way elsewhere. Do not waste more of my time.
None of those tunnels are particularly safe. They're especially in recent months. There's been a great influx in demonic beings inhabiting the nearby caves and tunnels. The safest path that I know of near the outpost would not take you towards any of those, but instead cross the other side of the chasm on the other side of our outpost, and continue in that direction, mistress.
I'll consider it. Leave this room for a moment while I think.
So you're in. It is like an entryway to a hall. Sure. So it's like. Make a, I guess make a persuasion check. For
Sure.
That
No, that's fine. That seems reasonable. 20, non-natural.
Already good.
Yes, my lady. We will be right here. Okay, and so you see them go. So the initial entry into this room is like a 30-foot wide ovular kind of shape, and then it extends forward in like a 10-foot wide hallway that stretches down like 80 feet to another set of doors. But there are a few other sets of doors in the hallway as well. And the drow who's been speaking with you gestures to the group with these like quick hand signals, and all of them turn and move into like the hall from the first door on the left, and they close the doors behind them.
Jimjar's still disguised, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Does not look like there's anyone else in this room.
There does not appear to be at present. No.
What the hell did you say? What the?
When they leave, Drow Jimjar just looks dumbfounded at what happens. Just,
I think it's safe to say the whole party just looks amazed that like you just spoke a whole lot of undercommon to these drow, and then they walked away,
So here's the deal.
and you didn't throw a fireball.
There's a path through the outpost that leads us away from this place, across the chasm on the other side. All three of the tunnels still have demons. We probably don't have much time to figure this out.
Alright, well, we
Let's
just
just-
need you to convince them to just take us to the other side of the outpost
There was only one
and
tunnel,
send us
right?
on our way.
There's another magistrate, or whatever the hell they call them,
But-
coming.
But they were late. They're waiting for her to come back.
Of course, you all need to look more like prisoners, I'm going to be honest.
That's
Not
fine.
necessarily tied, but you need to
Well-
look very downtrodden.
But they've already seen us in our current. Wouldn't it be odd if we're just randomly tied up now?
No,
Act
we're not.
act submissive.
I can try.
That's
we're
what
not.
you do.
We're not going to be tied up. Just look like we're listening to what like we've been fully broken by her will.
Jimjar, if
That's
you
what
look
you
at
do.
it, if there's another drow female here, if you look at her, you will die. Other than that,
I mean, he was in prison.
He knows.
yeah, he knows. Okay, good.
Yeah,
We met not as yeah. Okay, you're gonna have to take the back. We're gonna try. Do we want to try to just get through here as quickly as possible?
Yes.
In case the path is crazy, maybe ask one of them to lead us.
Yeah.
Through the outpost.
Yeah, through yes, out of this area.
Okay.
And ask also if we can figure out. Ooh, wait until you're just alone with the one, and then ask if the direction of that other one is coming from, so we know if we might run into her.
Sure. It seems that she was coming to return
Right, from where though?
through probably those doors. They were waiting for her here.
Oh.
They didn't look like they were happy to see her. Then
Well, no, they heard.
just check.
Sure.
Ask which way she's coming from.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay.
There we go.
And
Then
I
that's
will-
stack submissive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will present, like, I'm gonna bring the amulet much more to the forefront and, like, hang it around my neck, like, and I'm gonna basically call it, like, return.
a few seconds after you say that, the doors open again, and that same drow is there.
Just the one.
Eyes averted, but there. I mean, no. So there are more behind the door.
Sure. But he's the only
there's
one
still,
that came
there's still like 4 of them
Yes.
with him.
You said Lady Zanaya was coming. She would have been behind us.
Yes, the Lady Zanaya is was on errand. We expected her at her consort to be back. Well, already, but it has been a few 10 days now since we.
You would never lie to me, correct?
Never, mistress.
After consulting with... Never mind. Take us through. We need to leave now.
You said you put the
Amulet on.
medallion very prominently
Yep.
around your neck?
Mhm.
Okay.
We just had this conversation.
Oh, Yep, okay, sure.
You see
Yep. Oh, no.
his eyes catch the medallion around your neck.
Mhm.
And he just sort of... Actually, roll a perception check.
Sure. 11.
Not bad.
11?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would sort of... You'd be able to catch his eyes darting up, and then just a sudden change in demeanor.
Sure.
Mistress, perhaps you would see the priestess here before you make your way through our outpost to continue your journey. I'm sure the lady Sinair would be pleased to greet you in Loth's embrace.
I will not. I am too far gone.
Sinaer.
I'm already too far behind schedule. I need to move now, and I will try to, as subtly as I can, remove that from view.
I mean, it's literally
I know,
just
it's
like...
literally right out there. Yeah, okay, no, that's fair. I'm gonna just kind of press forward then.
Where's forward?
Like, in conversation.
Okay.
Basically try to get him to, yeah. Take us through. What is your name?
I am a dude.
Some dead man.
Some guy.
Tim the
I
Drow
am
Man.
Ralph.
Name's John.
Oh,
Started
you're
a
right.
couple weeks ago.
Obviously a very important character.
My name is Blossom Applebottom.
Jeans.
Yeah.
My friend is Boots with the fur.
Zarath.
Zareth?
Yeah.
Sure.
Is that what we're going?
No. I was just like, I heard you say it, and then it like registered as to what it would actually be.
Zalith?
Zareth.
Bupido?
I am. This one is Ivelios of the House Agrakdir. Agrach space Dyrr.
Pray that I don't remember your name. You are trying my patience. Is there something you wish to ask me?
Yes, mistress. I wonder how it is you came into possession of that medallion.
It was given to me.
Make a twisting the truth check?
Sure.
Yeah, roll. I mean, persuasion or deception, whichever one's better for you, because they're both kind
They
of
are
applicable.
Both 17.
17 total.
Yep.
Very well then. Let us be on our way and get you on your journey.
Does he look more troubled or?
About the same.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. He turns to walk down the hall that he's in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you follow?
Turns away from us?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so you
He's
were
gonna
in
lead
a
me.
hallway that was like horizontal, and then he's like, "Yo, give me the room." And so they went into like the first door on the left. So now you're in a hallway that like runs north south, perpendicular to that first hallway, and also perpendicular to the bridge initially.
I will subtle spell message to Vera and say, "There's a chance they know something's up. Do you want us to go or not?"
Okay, so is he leading us back the way we came or a different way?
Through into deeper into whatever this is.
The outpost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the name of the outpost is. I forgot.
Naveen.
Okay, my response will be, I thought he was going to lead us down the tunnel across the bridge. I don't like the idea of going in further.
That's
That's what I thought.
Well, right, and also she doesn't speak under common.
right. I thought that in our conversation with Yormik, he told us that
Yeah.
we have to go through the outpost to get to the other side of the chasm.
I heard
That's what I.
That's what I.
we crossed the chasm to get in here.
There's
It goes
there's
beyond.
another like
This is
double-
built in the middle of
a big.
Oh,
the chasm surrounds it, basically.
I misinterpreted that.
Well, with your reinterpretation.
Okay. I mean, well, at the very least, we would probably take them by surprise. So, I guess in that case, we can keep going. If we I do not want to run into any more trouble.
I'm going to like eyes turned down, take like one step forward as this all is sort of stalling.
Okay. With those two signals, I will keep moving forward and follow.
Okay. You follow Evelios Agrekdir down the hallway.
I wish
You
you
want
were
to ask him about his family, his
God,
heritage,
it'd be
his
so
blood
perfect.
ties.
What?
An arcane lock right now would be amazing.
Yeah.
Incredible.
We could lock those other drow in the room they're in.
You follow this hallway. You follow him down this hallway for about 40 feet before you find yourselves in a about 20-foot octagonal shaped room with doors at each non-cardinal direction. A pair of doors at each non-cardinal direction. And Evelios leads you to the doors to the far left-hand side, so northwest equivalent, and pushes them open. And as you follow, I guess first. Well, okay, so you're definitely first, given the situation. Give me marching order, just so I know
My
who
assumption-
would see this initially.
Up towards front.
I was assuming he would be in the very back,
Oh.
like leading, like
Making sure none
order.
of us try to
Yeah.
get away.
Making sure the slaves ain't trying no
That
shit.
makes sense.
Okay.
Behind,
So-
right behind Yormik,
Okay.
because I was pretty much there when he first.
Who's numero tres? Because like when the doors initially open, it's probably the
I
first
guess me,
three that
because
would
I was
see.
following him, detecting magic.
Okay.
Again.
So when Evelios pushes the doors open, you see another small vestibule isn't the right word, but small space, and in front of that a flight of stairs that go up about only about maybe like 8 feet or so up. Beyond that, you see a strange-looking bridge. Bridge might not be exactly the right word, but a bunch of spider silk rope that sort of looked like webbing, but it crosses this chasm. That it's pretty immediately obvious that it is another section of the
Same thing.
of the chasm that you crossed before to get into the outpost. Gazing out across that gap across that rope bridge, you see another stone landing on the opposite side, another flight of stairs, some stone pillars in front of a strange looking chapel entrance. And walking down the steps towards you is the other drow male who had a shield when they greeted you at the door, as well as an extremely pregnant female drow dressed in the garb of a priestess.
The pregnant one's male, right?
Yep.
No.
No?
I don't know.
I don't know how drop
I
biology
will
works.
attempt to conceal the amulet at some point during the walk to this place.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Sure.
A lot.
20 non-natural.
Non-natural 20. Okay. All right. Yeah, you're reasonably confident that you have since hidden the amulet away from sight without being particularly noticed.
As soon as I see the fact that this is a chapel, I am going to stop. I'm going to talk to the guy who brought us here, hushed tone. I told you we were to go through.
And before he can respond, the female drow speaks. And you will hear what she has to say next week when we play. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Wah, wah. Good old cliffhangers.
Literally.
Yeah, no, yep. You're not wrong.
This should be interesting.
I Misty Step
Yes,
Bow them to the
indeed.
Inswinger.
You would kill a pregnant woman?
Yes.
Well, if she tries to kill me.
Not a woman, but
Man.
a drow.
I mean, it's a woman, female drow.
Let's see that.
All drow are
But yeah,
enemies
Cool.
first, gender second.
we will pick up there next week, and maybe we'll actually be streaming again if the internet works, because that'd be great.
If you've seen this episode before we stream it.
Yeah, you probably won't see it.
Maybe not, or maybe.
I'll bring another
See you
character
next
sheet.
time.
Bye.
I'm actually feeling pretty good.